ManaTank Podcast.
Welcome to the show. It is February the 5th.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
So we're going to have an abbreviated version of the show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I can't believe you guys are putting off the show for fucking Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Fuck the Super Bowl.
Hey, have you ever seen the commercials?
No, yes, but I don't care.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't care. It's just an excuse to
How do you not believe that I don't care?
It's just an excuse to like go have a party, have some food, have a good time.
That's what weekends are for. Make up any excuse.
Sunday's a weekend.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a Super Bowl. Let's have a party Saturday night.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. You
I
party,
don't
watch the
fucking
Super Bowl.
care. I don't need a
Chris-
reason to party because it's the Super Bowl.
Chris buys
I'm
hundreds
so
and
upset.
hundreds of dollars worth of food, and we just go and eat his food for free, and it's great.
It is pretty great.
Yeah. Drink beer. Pretend to like football. Pretend to like each other.
You know what? Maybe I will come. Maybe I should come.
I think you should.
I'm kind of getting hungry.
I think, yeah. Barbecue. Oh, no, I don't think we're doing barbecue. I think we're just doing
See,
appetizers
my
this
eyes
week.
lit up.
I think
I
we're-
would have loved some barbecue.
I think we're doing, like, spring rolls, Monta Sticks, egg woes.
Is that all like just like M&M brand stuff? Like
Yeah,
shitty-
probably.
Homemade.
that's-
Homemade.
Well,
yeah.
homemade from M&M.
Homemade.
Like frozen from M&M, made in his home.
Made in his... Well, he makes them and freezes them and then sends them to M&M.
And then he buys them
And
back.
then buys them back for profit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good deal.
At a profit?
And plus, we're doing our pen and paper NFL...
Oh yeah, pen and paper RPG.
Our NFL pen and paper RPG.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
How are we going to do that?
We don't know.
Sweet.
We'll just replace all the not NFL words in the D&D manuals with NFL words. Replace sword with football.
Yeah.
Replace every word with football.
Jesus.
Hey, my name is Matty. You're listening to ManaTank Podcast. Joining me today, Swag Regular.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm vehemently opposed to the idea of Super Bowl cutting into podcast time.
Vehemently.
Vehemently.
Don't you mean vehemently?
Fuck off. I totally thought I had that right. But I used it
try.
in proper context, didn't I?
Yeah.
What does it
Yeah.
mean, though? I don't...
Just majorly
Avidly,
opposed.
very passionately.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, see, there you go. Perfect.
Kev's here, too.
Yeah, I'm sick though, so
Tore
I'm gonna be...
himself away from Final Fantasy 13-2. Let me tell you about my commando medics.
Let me tell you about how bad Ravager Medic is.
No, okay. That's
Don't judge me.
Whatever you guys are talking about. Being firmly judged, Eric Peterson. Also
Yeah. I've been fielding a lot of insurance calls lately.
'cause I
I've
sold your
actually
number.
been fucking with them a little bit too because I'm getting sick of it. So they call me up and they want to sell me some insurance. I tell them I'm 106 years old and smoke 8 packs of cigarettes a day, and suddenly they don't have the time of day for me.
Okay, I'm a 106-year-old skydiver.
You don't sound 106.
I hide it well.
Ah, you've aged amazingly.
I know.
What are you
So-
looking? Oh, you're drawing my caricature.
Pretty good.
For people out there, don't put your phone number into a insurance quote place.
Give me the Heisenberg hat.
It's pretty nice.
Heisenberg hat.
Totally lost focus. Are you just drawing on his bills?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's fucking like D&D points or whatever the hell, like video game challenge points on the back.
Yeah.
It looks like teach you on the back.
We use lots. We make efficient use of paper in this.
Yeah,
household.
we use the shit out of paper in here. You guys play any games?
Tell me about the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
even playing the Super Bowl? Get me excited. Get me interested in coming to the Super Bowl party.
I know that New England is playing because they suck.
The Lale
Yeah,
Lulelo?
fuck New England.
Yeah, fuck them. I
I'd be-
don't even know who they're playing.
I'd be cheering for them. I think it's like the
Blue.
Giants.
They're playing
Yeah,
the blue.
Giants.
Oh yeah, New York Giants.
See, I know that much.
I'm gonna cheer for the Giants.
You already know
because,
more about us than the Super Bowl.
What ear is there earring on?
What?
What?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
I don't have an earring. What you talking about?
The gay side, isn't it?
It is the gay side.
Which is the gay side?
The right side.
Mine's on the left.
You have
Here's
your
the
ear
proof.
pierced, Matt?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I don't have anything in it. Yeah, see? We're cool guys.
Yeah, he's so
I've got-
cool that he has it pierced, but has no jewelry.
It's because my diamonds. I
got
can't.
a hole in the side of his head.
I can't bring my diamonds to this neighborhood. They get stolen
by me.
by Thug Life over here.
Thug life.
Tell me about Final Fantasy 13 too.
Oh, I'll tell you about Final Fantasy 13.
Tell me about why
hold on. Hey,
Ravager
Kevin,
Medic
guess what?
is no good.
Hey, what?
I just beat it.
See, I told you. It was because that...
Don't judge me on my shitty paradigm selection. I gotta pause it so I don't miss the cutscene. I'll watch that later.
Okay, so what happened? You were stuck at a point, and then Kevin schooled you?
Let me tell you how much I suck. I decided to not play it properly. I mean, I guess I don't play a lot of games properly, but Dan Curtis was playing just an absolute shitload of it, and I got to certain points, and we would compare difficulty levels, and I would always get to the boss battles and just struggle, and he's like, dude, I whooped that guy's ass in one go. Well, it comes down to my paradigms. I got some pretty shitty ones, as Kevin so
humbly
delicately pointed out
Eloquent.
to me. Yes, eloquently. Very friendly.
Bitch, are you kidding me? You use Ravager Medic?
Let me tell you about Ravager Medic. That thing's shit.
I fucked up the picture.
That was probably your starting paradigm, too. You're like, every battle starts Ravager Medic.
No, my actual starting paradigm was triple Ravager for a while. Just 'cause it just instantly shot him to stagger, and then it went down right away. So
yeah, obviously.
I fixed it. But yeah, I think I fought him 60 times, so maybe now I'm leveled up enough for the next 6 hours of the game to just be overkill.
I really hope so. Because if you're actually level 70 commando, you're literally like 5 hours into the game if you just go quick storyline and just finish it.
Tell me about Final Fantasy 13 2, you guys. Paint a picture. They're giving me a chunk, a vertical slice of battles.
You don't like vertical slices?
It's just put out of context, and I don't really
like my slice is horizontal.
All right, so
you pretty much don't need to know anything about Final Fantasy 13.
I like my pizza cut into squares.
Okay.
Do you want to know about Final Fantasy, or do you want to know about horizontal slices?
Final Fantasy, please.
Horizontal
we are
slices.
on a video game podcast. I don't know if you guys know.
Because I could talk all day about pineapples.
So it's the sequel to 13, which starred Lightning.
Lightning.
And she was sort of battling for the freedom of Espers.
Huh.
No, there's... Basic story in 13 was Lightning and her team got recruited by a Fal'Cie, which is essentially the god of the world.
Okay.
So they got turned into l'Cie, which are like agents of the Fal'Cie.
Espers.
No.
Stop just saying. Why do you just keep saying Espers?
I'm trying to put this into like Final Fantasy.
Espers.
Okay.
Espers.
Later in the game,
Espers.
you get Eidolons, which are Espers.
Espers.
Okay. So their mission, should they choose to accept it, was to destroy Cocoon, which was the world that was suspended above the second world of Grand Pulse.
Is that literally like a dialogue wheel choice? Should you choose to accept it? No. Game over, credits.
But in the end, they decided not to accept their mission to destroy Cocoon and instead decided to save it. And then credits rolled and everyone was successful in their mission.
And so 2 is her sister.
Is the story of her sister in
Thunder.
What is rapidly shaping up to be a fragmented timeline of after the first game. So Sarah is Lightning's sister.
What?
Why does she have a normal name?
Yeah.
Her parents.
Lightning's not a normal name?
Sarah and Lightning?
What's wrong with Lightning?
That's sort of funny because, as a quick aside, like Amber has a fairly normal name, but her brother and sister have like her brother and sister have unique names. Her brother's name is Judah, and her sister's name is Promise, and she was stuck with the
Promise.
What's wrong with Judah?
The regular. No, it's a unique name. It's a unique, cool name.
Not unique at all. I've heard that thousands of times.
In the Bible.
I know it's Judas.
No, Judas is in the Bible.
Whatever.
Close.
But yeah. Anyways, so Sarah.
So Sarah remembers a timeline different than everybody else in the world from the end of the first game. So at the end of the first game, Lightning and everyone celebrate the victory of destroying the fal'Cie and saving Cocoon.
The victory music from Final Fantasy playing on repeat?
Of course.
Just on repeat.
On like Lightning's cell phone.
Yeah. So Sarah's the only one who thinks that Lightning is still alive. Everyone else, the timeline got fucked up, and everyone else thinks Lightning is dead. So everyone thinks Sarah's crazy because she keeps saying, no, Lightning's alive, I remember it, blah, blah, blah. And then Final Fantasy XIII 2 comes around, and we find out that Lightning is actually stuck in a battle at the end of time. And it is Sarah's job to track down Lightning and save her, because obviously if you're fighting at the end of time, you're going to be fighting until eternity. And that's bad news.
Espers.
If you're fighting at the end of time, if you're fighting Espers at the end of time, wouldn't the winner just end time?
Well, no. Because there is no winner. It's an endless battle. So that's why you need Sarah to show up and break the odds.
I'm sorry, I'm just kind of belittling the game, but it does look pretty sweet. Like the art and graphics and stuff.
Yeah, the animations and the videos are really well done. Cinematics, yes.
Vignettes.
I don't know. I don't think it's improved a lot over 13. I just think that
looked pretty crazy too.
Yeah, 13 was awesome, but just in terms of what's in the game and what they've changed, they really listened to the fans this time around. And there's a lot of exploration. There's just a lot of stuff to do. It's definitely not a linear game.
Yeah, it's the world map. What they call the world map is essentially just like a hub of different timelines you can visit. And as long as you unlock a timeline, you can visit it at any point during the game. So, I mean, you could go through the main story and unlock just what you need to do and finish the game. Or you could do the hundreds of hours of side quests that they built in that you could do at any point.
Well, what's cool is that if you beat one of the timelines in one specific way, you can go back out to the hub, reset that timeline, and do it again a different way.
Yeah.
And then still collect all the XP and experience and stuff.
You pretty much you pretty much have to do each one a couple different ways in order to, if you want to get 100% completion, because you do have different choices that affect the outcome of certain timelines depending on how you talk to people. So you'll get different fragments and stuff that you can use to unlock different gates, and it gets insanely confusing very quick.
Yeah, another thing they added into this game that they haven't had in a Final Fantasy game before is dialogue options.
Are they in a wheel?
I wouldn't really call it a wheel, more as I would call it like a cross, a dialogue cross.
Okay.
So there's
Is it a cross or a crucifix?
It's just a cross. It's not a crucifix.
It's like a plus symbol.
Okay.
Okay, so I played the demo, and I mentioned this last week, but it's really turned me off of it, or it didn't really catch my fancy because there's just a lot of information being shot at me. Now, if I wanted to pick this up, say I walk into an EB Games and I'm like, hey, well, Final Fantasy XIII 2 is out, I sort of want to pick this up. Will I be able to
play it without
having to play 13?
Yeah, I'd say so. They give you enough backstory.
Now, is it interesting enough that I would like to play it? Without having that
I don't think you'll have the same connection with a lot of the characters as people that played 13 did.
Yeah, because the part that I really like about it is, I remember someone, I think it was Eric, was saying last week that he didn't really care about the characters in Final Fantasy XIII. So to have a sequel based on those characters was something that he didn't really want to pick up. Mm-hmm. That was you, right, Eric?
It was me. Yeah.
So the part I like about it is those characters in the first game aren't playable characters in 13-2. They're all just like little NPC cameos. They just show up for bits and pieces of the game and then they leave.
How about the battle system? That was another thing that really turned me off of that demo. Like, there was a lot of shit going on. I sort of got the gist of it where you can kind of queue your attacks or whatever, and then
I definitely think it's one of the more complicated Final Fantasy battle systems. And if you didn't play 13, it's pretty much the exact same. They give you somewhat of a rundown at the beginning, but you're pretty much on your own for figuring it out And it's not hard once you do figure it out, but you probably just need somebody there belittling you and telling you how shitty you are at it.
Yeah.
So you got Kev there to help you out with that.
Hey, did you beat that fight? Yeah, you did.
I did. It's sitting on pause right now, so I can enjoy the cutscene later.
Well, what do you think of this, Eats?
I don't know what's going on.
Sorry for interrupting your yawn.
Thank you. Yeah.
But
that's actually a vocal exercise.
What?
All right, that I need
diaphragmatic breathing
regularly.
I know you're not a big fan of JRPGs.
What's the J stand for?
Much like your people in your peer group.
Uh-huh.
J stands for Jalopy RPGs.
Chris loves jalopies.
Doesn't jalopy start with a G?
I don't think so.
No.
Eric?
I think it does.
What is jalopy? Is
Jalopy
that a food
like
of some sort?
Brand of vehicle.
Shitty car. Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like a
Jalopy is There's the Jalopy Journal.
Irregardless.
That'd be JJ
An old
RPGs.
dilapidated motor vehicle, especially an automobile. Jalopy.
Irregardless. Eric.
Noun, plural, jalopies, informal.
Eads is not a big fan of JRPGs. What does this? What does this game do for you? And I know it's regardless. But.
I watched the press start and I gotta know what was going on.
Our press start?
No,
I did a
Eric's press start.
You did a press start?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for checking the site.
Yeah. Did a press start.
Ouch.
Yeah, I watched that and I was just.
I honestly thought you meant like a quick look from Bombcast.
Oh. To be honest, though, when I was doing the beginning, I played Final Fantasy XIII, and the whole opening 35-minute cutscene, I'm sitting there going, "What the fuck is going on?" I feel like at the beginning they give you absolutely nothing, and then about 4 to 5 hours in, things start to fall in place, and you start to kind of understand it, and then as you progress even further, you're like, "I have no idea what's going on."
Yeah, because you were like chasing a big guy on a horse, or he was chasing you. And you were queuing up like snipe, 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 and it was sniping.
Oh, the cinematic action is awesome for the boss battles.
He summoned a comet, which disappeared because you bounced his attack off your sword and into the comet.
You guys just
I don't know what's going on.
How vastly powerful lightning is.
I don't know. Was that lightning? I didn't even know who that was.
That was
some other object named character. Cheese.
Okay, my next question is, Kevin.
Oh.
You've gotten very excited for games like this in the past, i.e. Skyrim, i.e. Knights of the Old Republic, or the Old Republic, Final Fantasy XIII 2. Does this have the lasting appeal that you think it'll have? Next week, are you... And also Dark Souls.
Fully committed to 100% completion on this game.
Are you going to be like, fuck this game, this game was stupid,
fully committed
you guys
to
wasted my time
completion.
yet again?
To give you an idea, Swag, I played 13 and I got bored about 17 hours in and didn't touch it for a full year. Mm-hmm. I can't put this one down. Like, it's one of those things I've been losing sleep over it for the past couple days.
Yeah.
It's just it's something that there's so much to do, and it's so vastly different than what 13 was that it's kind of a gigantic breath of fresh air. That it's to me, it's kind of the Final Fantasy that we've been waiting for since 10.
It's a step in the right direction for sure. Like, I think one of the most interesting things about this game is that no other Final Fantasy game has only had 2 main characters in it. Every other Final Fantasy game since the beginning of Final Fantasy games has been 4 people or more. And this one
just has the 2.
Is just 2 characters, and it's big story driven.
How often do they turn into bikes?
2 characters and a microphone, eh?
Yeah.
No, you actually get to you get to capture monsters and incorporate them into your party, which is kind of
monsters.
Not really.
Pocket monsters?
But you can dress them up and put Christmas trees on their head and stuff like that. So
yeah.
That's kind of an interesting aspect to the battle system.
That's one of my favorite parts is the fact that because they kept the paradigm system from Final Fantasy XIII the same, and in order to have a balanced party, you need to have the 3 slots for the 3 different paradigms. And the way they did it in 13.2, being that there's only 2 main characters, is the 3rd slot is filled out by monster characters. So as you kill monsters in the world, you have a chance to recruit them into your party, and then you can level up the monsters and use them as an extra person in your party. And they all have special abilities too, so.
How do you recruit them into your party if they're dead?
Magic.
They turn into a crystal.
Yeah, they turn into a crystal and you collect the crystal. Because Sarah, the main character, one of the main characters.
Sarah, Sister of Lightning.
Sister of Lightning, yes. Has a unique ability where she can absorb monsters. And
is there
use them.
A Final Fantasy XIV in the books?
Obviously.
That's the online RPG game.
Oh god. Is there a Final Fantasy 15 in the
books? God.
What? There's the 14 is going to be another online? I don't think that's true at all.
14's been out for 2 years.
11 has been out for how long?
No, I think Eric's right.
Final Fantasy 14 has been out for 2 years.
Is there a 15?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Is there a 13.3?
Because, like, I've mentioned on the show a couple times, like, I really want to get back into JRPGs. Like, hentai. But, but like, I don't think 13.2 is the spot I should jump back in. Because
if you're looking for a JRPG, I don't think you're gonna find it here. It's I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the JRPG series. I think you would enjoy it, but if that's what you're truly looking for, this one might not be it.
By JRPG, I only mean like a Japanese style.
Oh, not jalopy.
Yeah, I know what you I know what you mean, but
because like I'm sort of getting more out of the American or the Western RPGs because obviously Skyrim didn't do it for me, and Kingdoms. I've always been rooting for a Japanese resurgence of games.
You wish the Japanese would have won World War II.
Something like that.
You got a big Pearl Harbor poster in your room, don't you?
Yeah, lest I forget.
You like kiss your hand and then tap the poster every night before you go to bed.
Then it has a little caption at the end, how it should have ended. Japanese flags flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that.
You guys.
As far as what's coming down the pipeline for Final Fantasy, I'm not sure. I know for a while they had Versus 13 and Arigato 13, but I'm pretty sure those have fallen off the map. So, I don't know. I'm kind of with you, though. I wish they would go back to their kind of the Final Fantasy roots. I wish they would have another medieval type Final Fantasy game. I'm getting kind of worn out on this futuristic crap.
Yeah, futuristic kind of fantasy type thing.
Yeah.
Good
like
call,
if they brought in like a modern version of Final Fantasy 9, that type of art style and that type of world setting, I'd be happy.
Final Fantasy 9 Modern Warfare?
That would do.
How about a Final Fantasy set in the real world?
That'd be boring as shit.
That'd be a lot like 8, wouldn't it? Like that was kind of the point where they
sort of got into everything. No like gun swords.
The realistic,
nothing ridiculous.
Characters.
Just normal dudes. Living this.
You can't jump 30 feet into the air.
Living this last fantasy. Shooting each other with guns.
6 has been out on the PSN for a while. I still haven't gotten it. I really want to get it. But
the Final Fantasy Chronicles is out for the PS1 Classics, and that's a blast to play through those again.
That's like 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yes, and they've redone them with new cutscenes and stuff, so it's actually pretty cool.
1 had cutscenes? Pretty sure 1 didn't have cutscenes.
They put cutscenes in.
But is it like the classic like look to it? Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 1.
It's sprite-based?
From what I can remember, I think they touched up the sprites a little bit, but it's generally pretty much the same.
Anything else to say about Final Fantasy 13-2?
No, other than the fact that I completely bought it when I had absolutely no plans to, and now I'm obsessing over it. It was one of those things where I went to Target I don't even remember what I went to get, and I walked into the gaming aisle, and whenever they put out their little sticker that says free $20 gift card with purchase, I'm sold.
You just woke up in a Target, like, how did I get here?
Got drunk with his buddy. Broken
I actually had a little bit of a
Skate.
panic attack because they put their games. Do you guys have Targets up in Canada?
Yes.
They put their games in those little clear cases, but they put them in there, and then that little magnet thing on the back crushes the bottom of the case. Mm-hmm. So when you take it out, the back of the case is all destroyed. So I was holding on to it, and I told my wife to go find somebody to see if they had any more because I didn't want this destroyed box. So I'm sitting there holding on to it because it's the last one they had, and the guy's like, "No, we got a whole display over here," and they had like 60 of them left.
Put it in a shirt.
I had a little meltdown for no reason.
So there was a giant display of 60 games and you just missed it?
It's probably like a 14-foot tall lightning cardboard cutout behind him. Like Final Fantasy, big letters, Final Fantasy music playing.
Wife, go ask somebody. I cannot.
He's just tunnel vision.
I was standing there holding it under my arm, like with the string connected to the display case, because I'm like, nobody's taking this thing.
I can't leave. Just yelling at kids who walked by. Like, this one's mine. Don't look at it.
Hey, I'm pretty sure the next cutscene you coming up to, Eric, is gonna blow your mind.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is there boobs in it?
There's
speaking of boobs,
there's some
I got it.
risque
This is a
attire.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, here we go.
This is a complete side note. If you like JRPG upskirts, this game is abounding with them.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, they don't even try to hide the crotch shots.
Something I could get down.
They used to because in other Final Fantasy games they used to like just dark it out and everything like that. But this one they're just like, no, she's got red panties.
Okay.
Yeah, like Chocobo Kalina, they shove her crotch in your face all the time.
What Chocobo Kalina?
Yeah,
she's half Chocobo.
Traveling merchant.
She dresses as a chocobo.
Have relations with chocobos? What are chocobos? They're like big birds, right?
Like ostriches.
Yeah, like ostriches.
Kev, did you find that the chocobos in this one look kind of shit compared to past games?
I thought they looked great.
What is the plural of
They gave them gigantic ears. I didn't like that.
Chocobos.
They gave him what?
Chocobos.
They gave him huge floppy ears. And they just, I don't know, they don't look right.
Are you sure those aren't their wings?
No, their wings aren't attached to their forehead.
No, I'm pretty sure they're not.
I don't know.
But I'm also pretty sure that they don't have giant floppy ears like dogs
Look at them next time. They've got huge dangling ears.
You're gonna have to check that out. But I think you're crazy.
I had a buddy that called them cocobos.
Well, he's wrong.
Yeah.
No, I've only heard it ever said chocobo.
I had a question. There's a talking Moogle, I heard.
Yes. Oh man, she's so awesome.
Yeah, how come?
What's a Moogle? Tell me about Moogles.
Kupo. That's all they usually say. That's all they ever said.
They're just little
well, this one actually
dudes.
talks now.
I'm sort of upset at this revelation.
They gave it like a 2-year-old voice, and it's strangely kind of
arousing. Oh.
It's not arousing. It's satisfying. It's like every time that my Moogle does something, I'm so happy because I'm just like, yeah, good job, Mog.
Mog.
Is there a Sid?
Not yet.
I haven't
will
come
be.
across him yet.
Obviously, there will be.
Dan's like 35 hours in, and he hasn't come across a Sid either.
Really?
Maybe he's like final boss. You gotta kill Sid.
But then again,
I'm just gonna.
It's entirely possible that he's just farming for those times.
Maybe Sid has been the mastermind behind all the Final Fantasy crises, and he just jumps dimension to dimension, causing havoc. That's why you always see him.
Ooh, like Puck from Macbeth. Not Macbeth.
Have you come across a Biggs and Wedge yet, Kev?
The trickster.
No.
Puck.
In Macbeth?
I don't think it's Macbeth.
In the Shakespeare play
It's
Macbeth?
something.
No, there's no Puck in Macbeth.
I think there is, isn't there?
No.
No, Puck doesn't
Eric?
seem like a very Macbethian name.
I'm a
Is
man
there
who
like
knows
a
his
trickster?
Macbeth. All right.
It's not Macbeth. It's a Shakespeare something or other.
Okay. Possibly. Then.
But there's like a trickster that plays tricks and kind of
That's
like...
from Midsummer Night's Dream.
That's right. That's the one.
That's not Macbeth.
That's not Macbeth. I just said it's not Macbeth.
I said in Macbeth, and you're like, yes, Macbeth.
And I corrected myself.
Pretty sure it's Macbeth, you said.
I confuse it with Macbeth because of the gargoyles.
There are no gargoyles in Macbeth.
No, because of the Disney cartoon, The Gargoyles. Why don't they remake Gargoyles?
Talking about
that was a good show.
That was fucking
I love
awesome.
that show. Was one of the gargoyles named Macbeth?
No, there was a character named Macbeth, and there was a lot of like Shakespearean stuff abound because there's that little guy Puck who was Owen, Xanatos' assistant Owen. Is anybody following me with gargoyles here?
saying?
What is he just saying?
How did
Yeah.
he transition from Final Fantasy
Xanatos,
to Shakespeare?
the Puck in Macbeth, abound.
Owen
Espers
was actually
Eidolons.
who I guess he's the trickster in, what did you say, Midsummer's Night Dream?
Yeah. Yep.
And I think he had a lot to do with the gargoyles and Macbeth coming back from time and just causing stuff to happen because he was like sort of like he pulled the strings.
Puppet master.
I quit this show.
What are you talking about? Let's talk about something that isn't Final Fantasy. So what would you play this week? You play any games this week? Tell me about the Syndicate. Let's talk about the Syndicate for a while.
Eric, did you try this demo?
Yeah, Dan and I did a co-op video of it, and tell me what you think first, because I don't want to offend you.
I have no real.
Oliver, Mr. Ambassador to Peace here. It's pretty good. I don't want to say anything bad about it because it might hurt someone's feelings.
Game fucking sucked.
We tried it a few minutes before we actually got going to get the show happening at my place. But Eads tried it out first, and he was all just cussing a blue streak because look at these fucking idiots when you're playing with these fucking idiots, and all this fuckery is happening, and nobody's doing anything because they're all idiots and fuck.
Is this an online game?
Yeah.
It's a co-op demo, and it's terrible.
You gotta rely on other people, and
Eads isn't all about that.
No, we just lost because my guys were dumb.
I sort of had a good time with it,
Yeah, but you got stuck. There's one part where you need all 4 squad mates to get into this area before you can move forward, and one of your dudes just wasn't there. So you guys ran around for 20 minutes until it prompted you to kick him, and then
more like 5 minutes.
One guy
stupid.
wouldn't even agree to kick him. He's like, "No, I'm not gonna. I'm not about that."
In honesty, that prompt is very small in a UI that's all cluttered with a bunch of shit. There's a small subtitle which totally looks like a training prompt.
Yeah,
I barely saw.
The point is, I'm not trying to defend the players, or I'm just saying it is poor game design when one person can flat out just be like, "I'm gonna troll the game," and then I'm not going forward because Lord knows there's no douchebags online.
I don't think he was purposely trolling the game. I think he just left his controller.
Yeah, but I think that in a good percentage of games, you will find someone who will just
And that's why I hate fucking online
hey,
gaming
man,
because those people do exist.
Let's team up. And
but
let's have
fun. For a game like this, I had quite a bit of fun playing it.
Nobody else heals.
It's so generic.
Nobody heals anyone.
It honestly felt like just a side shoot of Killzone. It just wasn't very fun.
I can see that.
Maybe it's because I don't play these games often, those cooperative games. But I was having a great time. I took myself on as the healer. I totally thought I was the only person that could heal, and that's why I was doing it.
This is why we should play Resident Evil 5.
But apparently,
when I text you and say, "Hey, want to play Resident Evil 5?" and you just text back "dim sum" and leave it at that. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Isn't that a Japanese dinner?
Dim sum. That's it.
Dim sum.
It was
hey, you want to play a game?
And then dim sum.
Dim sum. It's all good. Dim sum.
Thank you.
So Eric, you weren't feeling it?
The game was awful.
Agree.
I wouldn't call it awful. I wouldn't call it the best, and I definitely I probably wouldn't buy it.
Dan and I played the online co-op, just the two of us, and there was just horrible balance issues. We played it on hard first, and we actually got farther on hard than we did on normal mode.
It's just notch it down.
It's
too hard.
It's full of holes.
No, this is hard. Or this is too easy. Let's put it to normal.
We're succeeding. Let's turn it down.
I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't think I'll. I don't think I'll play.
And
it.
I mean, maybe it's I think it sort of speaks to how the demo was made. That I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Each class has abilities, but I don't know what those abilities do or how to use them.
Yeah, what were those breach abilities all about?
Well, I think the breach is you use it to advance your objectives. Okay, we got to breach the door controls, or there's this big turret that we have to get by. We can breach the turret controls.
I think because remember that one the final opponent there was you had to breach its armor.
Yeah,
just so that you could shut it down or whatever, so that you could get more damage in.
Yeah,
and with the tank, you'd breach the turret so that would not work. I think it's just a thing where you can do
just your action.
Yeah,
is breach. But then you also have another ability on the D-pad. We were playing support and we had damage link, but it doesn't tell you how to use it or what it does.
Yeah, it was really unclear about that.
They explained absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it just literally throws you right in, and I'm sure that a lot of people don't even know that you can heal your squad mates, or you get knocked down, sort of, and then you need a reboot, and so they can reboot you before you die. Yeah, And
pulling on all the classic cartoons, guys. Help me out here.
A lot of people they just left you hanging. They didn't even know how to reboot.
Arguably, if you weren't there and I tried this game, if you weren't there to tell me that we could heal each other, and I was trying this game by myself, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be one of those guys like just running around.
Yeah, and then you're like, thanks for the commentary, Eads. Thanks for the running commentary.
Well, that's because you're being cynical, Eads.
Yeah.
When you're cynical, I tune you out.
That's a general Eads.
It's Eads all the time. It's like Thursday morning Eads.
Anyways, yeah, it's not the best, but it was unique. Like, we were talking while we were watching the demo trailer or whatever, that it reminded you a lot of Deus Ex.
Yes.
I like that. I thought that game, not Deus Ex, but I think this game looks cool.
I think it looked like graphically and stylistically, it looked like a cross between Matrix, Tron, and Killzone.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of really oversaturated.
I just thought it looked generic. I didn't think it. I mean, it's bright. Cool. I like Tron, but it just kind of blah.
It's not super notable. Like if you line this up with, I guess, Killzone and Deus Ex, and Resistance to a point, and even Call of Duty, like you wouldn't be able to tell it apart from any one of these because they all sort of look generic. But of course,
saying all games look the same.
All games are RPGs. That's all I'm saying.
Are you saying all Japanese games look alike?
Yes.
That's racist.
That is.
But I like that detective mode or whatever the fuck they call it in this was kind of cool because then you could find your opponents. You could tell which ones were opponents.
Oh, where it turns the whole screen gray?
Yeah, and your opponents are highlighted in gold.
If I had to pick out a highlight, I'd say the HUD on the guns looked pretty cool. That's about it.
That was okay. I don't like how all your information for everything is on one gun, though. Like, you have this much ammo for this gun, this much ammo for the other gun, this many grenades. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really like
Like I said, the UI in that game was super cluttered, and I didn't really know what was going on. And I guess that's sort of the thing that... Because I guess the character has some sort of heads-up display where it'll highlight things, and that makes it super cluttered, and I don't really dig all that information shooting up at me because I get confused. Like I said, I couldn't see the kick prompt, and so you had to point it out to me. I guess you have the eyes.
Yeah.
Not the physical kick.
Chuck
Norris kick.
I was wondering, you kick a door in? I don't remember that.
The kick player prompt.
The player, yeah.
Anyways, we tried that. We also tried Twisted Metal. Have you played Twisted Metal, Eric?
I've downloaded it, and every time I go to log in, it says it doesn't work.
Really? I had it working
always
fine.
Get server timeouts. Always.
It's single player.
I've tried every day.
Forward your ports.
Who plays single player?
I played single
your ports. I don't like single player. As soon as you die, it ends the game. Though I don't like.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
So just don't die. How about that?
It's hard.
But yeah, I didn't play
to play it.
Real multiplayer. I played single player just to get to know the weapons and controls and stuff. And I really like that game. Yeah, it reminds me of when I was young playing.
It's like 1995 all over again.
Is that when that game came out?
I think so.
Fuck me, that was a long time ago.
All you need is a 24-pack of Mountain Dew by your side, and it's 95 all over.
That's all it takes. Metal Gear.
Ooh.
It's all about Metal Gear, isn't it? Fuck.
Faux pas.
Twisted Metal and Mountain Dew. And Metal Gear.
Jinko jeans.
Let me tell you what I think about Twisted Metal, because prior to playing Twisted Metal, I have Twisted Metal...
Black.
No, 2, I think?
The Twisted Metal.
On my... Twisted Metal 2 or Twisted Metal 3 on my... I bought it off the PSN, I was playing that.
Bought it off the PSN?
Bought it, yeah. For money.
Not points?
Money.
For dollars.
Cash.
Cents.
Money.
Keep going.
Anyways, I was playing that, and then I kind of jumped over to this. And it just, everything seems a lot faster. The cars seem way faster. Everything just...
Disappointed? You wanted the same speed that they had in 1995?
No, to put it into I don't mean that everything runs
Maybe
better.
all that Mountain Dew was slowing your perception down.
It was I think in Twisted Metal 2 you could be sort of more methodical, and you could kind of plan out, okay, I
never planned.
I can see this guy's coming at me on the radar. I got my special up, and whatever, and you can just sort of be more methodical about things. But I mean, it seems like in this new Twisted Metal, it's way more chaotic. And because there's like helicopters flying in at you.
I think once you adjust to the speed
like
and figure out like the buttons and the weapons and stuff, you can start creating strategy.
Yeah,
and
so
like start
a little bit. In this, when I was playing, I found that nobody knew how to get inside most of the buildings. Like even I didn't know how to get into the church. You showed me. So you can just hang out in the church, and like some guy drives by, and then you pull up behind him and.
Let me ask you something, since I haven't gotten a chance to play it. The one thing that I'm kind of hesitant on is I've played a lot of racing games since 95 in Twisted Metal,
right?
And I've especially gotten used to the trigger controls and the pressure sensitivity and stuff like that. So going back to the old style of game with old controls and new updated graphics in this day and age, do you think that the control scheme holds up very well?
There is actually a control scheme that's called race controls, where you can use the shoulder buttons to accelerate, decelerate, quick turn and stuff.
I was using
the
classic stuff.
But that's not true Twisted Metal, though.
No, I thought the classic was really weird for like the first few games. I would always mix it, like I would accidentally shoot instead of changing weapons, or when I tried to reverse, I'd shoot my special off or whatever. But I mean, after like 2 games, it's whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I did a lot of time in training, going between the dual stick controls, the classic controls, and the race controls. And I actually like the classic controls the best with this game. And it's something you sort of have to like get used to.
Well, you don't really need race controls in a Twisted Metal game because the best speed is always the fastest speed.
Well, when I first played this game, I'm like, fuck, these controls do feel outdated and stupid. Like I wish these had proper like current modern like race controls, like racing game controls. So I actually put it on that control scheme with the acceleration, deceleration on the shoulder buttons. I'm like, you know what, it's good. It feels modern, but I still think that classic controls work the best because you don't actually use the camera to aim like a shooter,
unless you're shooting at helicopters.
Yeah, unless you're in a helicopter,
which is dumb.
All cars, there's like just an auto lock feature that you use, so you don't actually need to move the camera. Although I would love to use the camera to like look around and stuff, but
you can still use you can move the camera.
Not on like race mode.
Oh yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
How's nuke mode?
It's super weird. Like basically there's 2 teams, there's offense and defense, and there's 3 innings, and you offend and defend both innings, and you have to capture these leaders.
Capture the leader, then bring them back to a catapult machine.
Yeah, and then he turns into a missile, and you have to fly the missile into their statue while the enemy team is trying to shoot down your missile.
It sounds really interesting. I never played it, but
it sounds awesome. That's the one thing I want to actually play because I've been watching a lot of gameplay videos of it, and it just looks incredibly awesome. It's
so like it's at the point right now where the demo's still new that nobody knows what's going on. So all the games I've played have ended like 1-0 because one guy got a missile off because one dude actually knows like to bring the guys to the catapult.
Like, I did it.
And how to fly the thing. Yeah.
Don't they explain it in like a loading screen before the game? What the
No, not really. Like the game starts and it's like capture the enemy leaders. And you're like, okay, I don't know that.
I guess like, unlike most people, I went through like the training.
Yeah, it's for.
And so I was practicing controls, and then it actually has a little slideshow to train you on nuke mode, and that's
so you were probably the type of kid who used to buy a game and then read the instruction book before you played it.
Yeah, I read it in the car on the way home.
Okay.
What's wrong with you guys? I smelt it. That's where I started smelling
Hey Kev, did you see the Final Fantasy XIII instruction book?
I did see it, yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
It's like an actual instruction book. It's full color. It's thick. It smells amazing.
Is it like French English? English French?
No, it's just Japanese straight up English? All English.
Actually, didn't even. I only smelled it and then I moved on to the game. I didn't even look at it.
I paged through it because it looked really good, and I figured somebody put time into this. I may as well give them 10 seconds of my day.
10 seconds is too much.
I know.
Well, I got the strategy guide too, so I didn't need the regular instruction book.
Did you get the collector's edition guide?
Nope, not back on Twisted Metal.
Oh.
Back on Twisted Metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to our story.
I got some thoughts on it still.
A thing that sort of bothered me was the character select. Car select was like you can pick your car, but you can only pick like 3 different factions, right? It's
4, I think.
4
the
is
clowns, the
dolls,
skulls, holy men, and the skulls. Yeah.
So that sort of off-put me because one of my favorite things about the original Twisted Metals was that, or the different characters in their stories.
Yeah, like each car was a character.
Yeah, Axel got put into this weird Axel thing
by his father.
Yeah, and same with Sweet Tooth. He had a story. So I don't know if this is just a multiplayer thing, but is that how it's going to turn out? I guess you wouldn't know.
I have no idea.
That'd kind of suck because those other games had such incredible, rich backstories.
Yeah, so and that's one thing I really liked about it, and that's one thing I sort of would play this game because single player person.
Maybe they're keeping the single player and multiplayer aspects completely different.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was actually one of the points I was going to bring up. Another thing too that's sort of I don't really like where they're going with it is that all like when you had those unique characters, all the specials felt really, really unique too. Like Outlaw had a big lightning storm that picked up cars, and Axel had that big Nova wave thing that pushed people away.
Yeah.
And in this, it seems like you either have a turret that you deploy on the top of your vehicle that shoots them, or you have some sort of locking on missile.
And I can't really speak to this because I only played like 2 or 3 different vehicles, but I think you might be right. You mentioned that. And sort of dumb.
I think, well, that was like the whole point to picking different characters.
Yeah.
Was like, okay, this guy, he kind of sucks. He's got bad speed and bad armor, but I really like his special.
Well, that's another thing of the original games. That game wasn't really that balanced. Like, because you could pick Spectre, which was my favorite car. It was a sports car. But his fucking missiles went through walls.
Yeah, but he was super squishy. He was really easy to kill.
Yeah, and then you'd hide out. Fucking shoot me.
If you played
the best was the motorbike.
Mr. Grimm?
Yeah.
Because his skull, it healed you for the damage it did.
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
I always played... Thumper was on with the flamethrower, right?
Thumper was the Cadillac. The pink Cadillac with that flaming boner.
Really?
That guy was good too.
I always played the one that, I think it was in 3, who had like the force waves in front of him. I can't remember. He was pink too. I thought he was a pink Cadillac.
Thumper in 2 was the flamethrower.
Yeah.
But I think I know what you're talking about. He used like a boombox or like his loud stereo.
Yeah, and you like pushed cars away and you could push them off the map.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. And Outlaw. I like the art from the old ones where like
the character art.
The original Outlaw was this really hot girl.
Yeah.
And I really liked playing her.
And then Outlaw 2.
Yeah, and then the story was cool because you'd be battling up to Calypso, and the endings were fucking awesome in that game because it was always Calypso being a jerk and turning your wish against you.
Fucking Calypso. I always liked Minion because he came in an APC.
Was that Minion?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Minion. Who was the Humvee guy?
Warthog?
Warthog.
Is that right? Warthog? I remember. That was a lot of good memories of Twisted Metal. But I mean, with all those, like, that game holds a special place in my heart. And then I don't know how I feel about this new one. It's fun, but I don't know if it can ever live up to what Twisted Metal used to be for me.
Why not? Jaffe is behind it. Jaffe's holding that shit strong. Kevin, any thoughts on Twisted Metal?
Yeah, Twisted Metal good.
Sweet.
Thanks, Kev. Thanks for coming out today.
Thanks for being our reporter on the street for Twisted Metal. Eric?
Yeah.
Back to you, Eric.
Let me tell you about a little game I played this week called Starhawk.
Hey, I played some Starhawk.
Oh, shit.
I'm in love.
Sorry, hang on, Eric. Did you just use the code I gave you to play Starhawk?
No, I tweeted out just if anyone had any codes and got sent another code.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
We still have 2 more to give out.
Yeah, I haven't. Some guy sent me 2 in an email too, so we probably have like 4.
Did you send the code that the guy won last week?
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's in my email somewhere.
Congratulations to that guy.
Yeah.
Tell us about Starhawk.
I'm a huge fan of third-person shooters, and I played the crap out of Warhawk. I think I told you guys this last week. So I was really excited to get my hands on Starhawk, and it's one of those games that you hop in, and if you've been playing a lot of the generic shooters lately, like the Call of Duties and the Battlefields and stuff like that, the Syndicates, and this is it's hard to explain. It's one of those games that you just have to play to experience it. A lot of people might say, doesn't really do it for me, but there's so much going on, and it's such a unique spin on online shooters because there's so many different things you can do. This one's really focusing a lot on fortifying and building up your defenses so that you have a place to kind of be secure. But then the transformation of the Hawks from these walking mech creatures into the jets kind of just throws a whole wrench into everything. And it's one of those games that as I was playing it, I'm just giggling the whole time because it's this online shooter that I've been waiting for such a long time.
Wife, look at this.
Well, the first time I hopped into the Hawk and pressed circle, I'm just smiling because I'm a massive Transformers fan, and just to watch that thing transform and take off.
Wait, like you're a really big Transformers fan, or you're a fan of really big Transformers?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Massive skateboarder. So, okay, something just piqued my interest. Like, so you can hop into these planes, jets. Mm-hmm.
So to give you an idea, when you first spawn into the game, everything takes place from this little tablet-looking computer, and you've got this top-down view of the map. And according to which areas of the map your team controls, you can spawn. But instead of just being your generic spawn, you appear. You fire down from space in this little capsule that crashes into the planet, and you explode out, and you go on your merry way. If you're in an area where you control by your base, you're going to collect these little green orbs. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called Gather. And
Materia.
You can use... Yeah, we'll just go with Materia for now. So you can use those to do a multitude of different things, like purchase Hawks or purchase vehicles or purchase jetpacks. Or if you want to, you can fortify your base by dropping walls, dropping more air pads, more jetpacks and stuff like that. So you can hang out in your little base for a second, build this stuff up, and kind of help your team out that way. So it's
a lot of those structures you can actually drop anywhere.
Yeah.
So you can there's been a lot of cases where someone runs into the enemy base and then drops a wall in the middle of the base. And he's like, okay.
But you still need those gather points for that. So there's a lot of different stuff going on.
Okay, so what I was trying to say, you can hop into one of these Warhawks and
Starhawks,
Hawks, and Hawk, and just transform like a mech, like Gundam Wing.
Yeah, basically you hop into it and right away you're just in mech form and you can march around and shoot people, and then if things get too hot you can pop into airplane mode, take off. But what's cool is you're flying around and you see somebody marching around on the bridge and they're by themselves. You flip into mech mode, drop down on top of them, kill them, take off, and go on your way.
I fucking suck at flying the Hawk. I get shot down within 10 seconds every time.
Yeah, see, that sounds fucking cool to me. Like it sounds like Mobile Suit Gundam.
Wouldn't it be
and Macross
in the plane mode at all times?
No, it's really hard to shoot people on the ground from the plane mode.
It's very balanced, and you can fly around. They have different power-ups that are strategically placed around the map, and you can resupply your weapons. You can get new weapons. You can heal your jet, but it is very easy to get shot down.
I'm sort of interested in this now. I want somebody to DM me a Starhawk key because I gave mine away.
I got a few keys floating in my inbox.
Give them away to somebody.
Yeah, you don't want them?
I want a fan to give me one because they're great.
Okay.
I want to take Starhawk away from one of my fans.
No, well, if he wants to freely give it to me, sure. But I want our show to give them out to a lucky fan who wants them. I
found the most interesting times in that game is when you're kind of like one time I was on the ground and I was sort of in the middle of the map and in this area that looked over the enemy base, and I had a little bit of points. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna drop a sniper tower here because it comes with a sniper rifle. So I actually boxed myself into this little alcove with a sniper tower and then could get my sniper and snipe down, but nobody could get around to kill me until a hawk flew in and tried to kill me.
See, this whole dropping everything in sort of... I see this in my mind like Little Big Planet.
We saw the trailer at E3.
Where you sort of cast it down and then...
Yeah.
So everything comes sailing in from space and just crashes into the planet.
Kind of like the StarCraft 2 Terran units.
Oh.
Like thrusters going.
Okay, that's kind of cool because I see it just materializing in the sky.
Oh no!
Settles. We climb up.
We saw the trailer for it at E3.
Which E3?
This last E3. It was where that black guy had the glowing veins and they're running and shooting and buildings are flying in.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Starhawk has only piqued my interest in the last 5 minutes.
Okay, great.
At least you're honest.
So pretty cool though, Eric?
Oh, definitely. For me, it's going to be a day one purchase. Just the beta alone has sold me on it. And it's kind of sad because they only have the small maps on there that support 12 people. But they 16. Do, if it's anything like, is it 12 or is it 16?
16.
Okay, so the full maps, the huge ones, are going to have full 32 support, and they're going to probably have a lot more stuff going on. So I'm really excited for those. Because hopefully they brought back stuff like the different Jeeps and the tanks. Because right now you've only got the Jetpack, the Hawk, and then the Razorback, which is kind of like the Warthog from Halo.
Warthog.
Kind of like the Warthog from Twisted Metal.
Is there any single-player aspect to this game?
Yes, there is.
There will be a campaign. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good because the Warhawk was just strictly online only.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm sort of under the impression that this is going to be like that. But if there's something of a single player, it really piques my interest because it does sound like super interesting to me right now.
I think that campaign is going to fall pretty flat.
Yeah, it's not going to focus very heavily on it. It's just they're putting it in there to try to appease the single player fans.
It's me.
Are you appeased?
Not yet, but it sounds promising. Looking forward to it. Yeah, hopefully somebody DMs me on Twitter at swageraguilar.com. No. Stop. That's a different guy.
Swageraguilar.com?
DM me at swageraguilar. Aguilar for Warhawk key because I want Starhawk?
Starhawk key.
I am just confusing the hell out of everybody.
It's one of those Hawk games. It's okay.
Not Hawks.
Not AJ.
No, we don't want to play Hawks.
Not Tom Clancy's Hawks. I'd really like to try this.
What about Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk's Hawks? Ah! I got so excited.
On the desk.
Tony Hawk's Hawks. Tom Clancy's Hawks presents Tony Hawk in space.
I also played. Sorry, this is just bouncing from person to person.
Tony Space.
But I played the demo for Castlevania.
Space Border Extreme.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It's the remake of that DS one, but it's in the vein of the Symphony of the Night. And I think you haven't tried this.
No.
I think you'd like it. I think there's like a co-op. And I know we was talk about co-ops, this and that, but it's another Symphony of the Night-ish Castlevania.
Another co-op game that we could not play together.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
See? That's all I've played.
Dim sum. Yeah,
what have you been playing, Eads?
Just those demos. Yeah, just those demos. There was something else.
I've been playing a lot of Citadels, like board games.
Yeah?
I really like that game.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me borrow that. I think I'm going to buy it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If you can find it.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's hard to find.
Order it online.
Huh?
Order it online.
Yeah, maybe.
He said your Metal Gear Risk got here. Good game to bring to Super Bowl party.
Maybe. I don't know. It's still at UPS. UPS
play some Metal Gear Risk at Super Bowl.
It's actually just a big box of Anthrax. It's from me. I just figured I'd con you into thinking that you Metal Gear
Risk, bitch.
That'd be really funny if he just sent you a Metal Gear Risk-sized box with nothing in it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this while we were playing, and like we were all just talking about how much we enjoy this game, and like they were like, "Wow, doesn't your buddy want this back or whatever?" Like, this is awesome that he lets us borrow this for so long. Like, he's not really in a rush to get it back.
We played the shit out of it.
But
we played it before.
I kind of want to buy this game because it goes into the whole like used games argument of mine, where I shouldn't just coast on having this copy.
He's leaving.
Bye.
You offended me.
I know. I'm sorry. But I think from the enjoyment we're getting from this game, I think I owe this guy a little bit of money.
It's hard to download board games too.
No, but this is the equivalent of downloading a game.
Download. What's going on back there?
Can you hear that, Eric?
I can.
Actually, it's not hard to download board games at all.
No? Don't you like cut the pieces out? Print them off on paper and cut out? How do you go about downloading a board game?
Andrew does it all the time.
That doesn't make any sense.
He figures out exactly what all the pieces are. Like, mostly for card games and everything. Mm-hmm. But,
prints off proxies?
Yeah.
Glues some magic cards?
No, just slip them in a sleeve with a magic card in the back.
See, I don't feel right about that either.
Well, yeah, that's even worse. Now you're just actively plagiarizing the game.
Yeah, I don't feel right about... Like, I appreciate you letting me borrow this, but I don't feel right about like just playing this and like, okay, when we're done, we're just gonna give it back to you. Because from all the fun we're having of it, I feel like this guy deserves some credit.
Yeah, Mr.
Moyensen, I think.
Moyensen?
Something Moyensen.
I always forget.
Cover. But yeah, it's a really good game. I really like that game.
Speaking of games, we got some new ones coming out.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yes.
Hey guys, games coming out this week.
Jak and Daxter HD.
Is that coming out this week?
That is. It's coming out in 2 days.
Oh yeah, there it is. I see that. 7th.
I'm excited for that.
Shark
I feel
2?
like that's one of the series that Sony has kind of forgotten about.
Shondi has kind of forgotten about?
Sony.
Oh.
The Shondi.
Kaz doesn't forget about nothing.
No. Jak and Daxter.
Nah, I'm not a big fan.
They were the original PlayStation platformers.
No, wasn't it still Ratchet and Clank? Weren't they the first ones?
I think it was like Jak Daxter,
Crash Bandicoot,
Ratchet and Clank, and Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro were like the original
Spyro.
PlayStation guys.
Well, Jak and Daxter started on PS2.
Mario and Luigi.
Oh, did they?
Wannabes.
Yeah.
Motherfucking wannabes.
I don't know. I never got into these games at all either.
Jak 2 is probably one of the hardest platformers I've ever played. It just, for some reason, was ungodly difficult. So hopefully they've kept that little tidbit in there, because I think going through that again would be a lot of fun.
Sort of going on somewhat of an opinion piece of mine. I don't think platformers are my game.
No? Really?
I played Ratchet and Clank.
Like Spyro?
No, never really liked them back then.
Huh.
I never play them right now. Like Mario, sure, back when
Rayman?
Mario was Mario. But yeah, even playing Rayman and I played Rayman. I know a lot of people are really talking to that game up, and I understand it's sort of fun to play, but I don't think I could like buy it and play it. And even when like the new Super Mario Brothers came out, which sort of gave me a feeling of playing Super Nintendo Mario again, I just like this is not my game.
That was awesome. I remember that one.
It's not my brand.
It was fun. We played that at your place.
Yeah.
With Amber.
Yeah.
And somebody else was there. So we were 4 people.
I don't know. But even 3D platformers.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Little Big Planet was cool for the
Little Big Planet, yeah.
25 minutes I played it.
I never liked Little Big Planet.
Oh god, I played hundreds of hours of Little Big Planet. I poured so much into the creation, it's just sickening.
Did you? Wow.
Do you have any levels out there?
Put dicks everywhere?
Yeah, the levels I have out there are pretty inappropriate. One of them revolves around a guy eating too much corn, getting constipated, and the whole goal is to pull the corn out of his ass.
Wow.
Great.
So,
what's wrong with you?
Did you ever play the Metal Gear expansion? Or the DLC?
I guess.
Yeah.
I did not.
I didn't even play. I downloaded it. I paid something like $10 or $15 for it. And
we had a good laugh about
Yeah.
Solid Sack.
Yeah.
Hey, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is coming out this week. Reckoning Storm of Darkness.
That one looks like a cool game.
Yeah?
Yeah. We talked about the demo last week.
I read a little bit on it, and it does sound pretty cool.
Did you not try the demo?
I haven't tried the demo yet, no. It's sitting on my PlayStation, uninstalled. Physically. It's like... It's sort of a world where... like these legends keep happening over and over again, but you are a character who somehow is like out of stream with that. You have no fate.
Yeah, your character's not bound by any fate.
Yeah.
Like you talk to this fate sayer or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, you don't have a fate."
Yeah, so you kind of like start interacting and fucking up these legends, and like, oh, this guy died, so I have to take this guy's place to make this legend make sense.
Is that like
sort of what
sort
of what I got from it?
Sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool premise. One of the characters is named Static, and her sister Jill, and they have Espers.
Eric, did you try?
I don't even know what you're trying to do there.
No,
Static,
I did
Lightning,
not.
Lightning, Sarah, Static, Jill.
No, reverse that.
What the fuck ever. It's a cool game. I like the art style in it. You should really try it. And
Kingdoms? We're still talking about?
Reckoning Storm.
It's kind of got like a God of War thing going on too, sort of the combat.
Yeah.
Which sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
See, that kind of turns me off. I don't know. I never really got into the whole God of War stuff.
Oh, I love God of War.
I struggled to make it through the first one, and I'm just like, yeah, 2 and 3. Oh, I beat Chains of Olympus, and that's it. But
3 didn't do anything for you?
Never played it.
Oh.
That game is gorgeous.
That was my game of the year, 2009.
Gorgeesus, some would say.
Gorgeezy.
Yeah.
That was my game of the year, 2009.
For Black Friday down here this year, they had it for like $10 somewhere, and I passed it up. I don't need to play it.
And
$10.
And you just wake up in Target.
$10 is too much.
Wake up in Target and buy.
It must have been a used copy for $10. Jeez.
Where am I?
God of War for $10. This must be a dream. Black Friday, people are trampling me.
It's when you need to become Kratos.
I don't know. There's just something that's not very appealing about that to me.
Is it just like
shirtlessness?
No, I like the character. I like the story. It's just homophobic. I think the battle system is the very Devil May Cry-ish, where they just throw as many waves of enemies at you over and over and over and over, and it gets repetitive.
Nah. Devil May Cry. Did you play Devil May Cry? Like 4?
Oh, I played all of them.
4 was the most repetitive garbage I've ever played in my life. It even had the same 10. It was like a 20-second soundtrack that just played over and over and over and over again.
Is that the one with Nero?
Yeah.
I like that.
To just accent how repetitive that stupid fucking thing was. Like that Rob Zombie song or whatever it was.
Did you play Devil May Cry 3?
I did not.
I actually broke 2 controllers over that game.
Was that the super hard one?
2 controllers?
Yeah, the one where they had to actually release a collector's edition and make it easier.
Make it easier, yeah. I played through that one. I played through the original one. That one was frustrating.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My list says the Gotham City Impostors comes out this week. I don't know if that's...
I don't think that's right.
That doesn't sound right. Got delayed, right? I thought it... no, maybe that does sound right to me now that I think of it, because I thought it got delayed until February.
You should look that up, because I have a key for that, and if the beta is still happening, I'd like to give that away. But I see
a lot of people still online playing the beta.
Yeah. Well, I actually think it's gone open, so I think that's useless to everybody now. Hey, Eric, what do you think of the new Devil May Cry?
I'm not really in the loop on it, so I can't speak knowledgeably to it. Isn't it just going to be titled DMC?
Yeah, I think it's just
and
a reboot.
Dante, right?
Yeah,
I like Dante.
Young Dante.
The first Devil May Cry was fantastic.
Gotham City Impostors coming out February 8th. February 7th on the PlayStation Network.
Has anybody tried that?
I have not.
Is it PlayStation Network exclusive? No,
it's on PC as well.
Xbox?
I don't think so.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Played it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's it about?
It's... I guess the premise is... they sort of rip the premise of in Batman The Dark Knight, where they have like imposter Batmans trying to help out Batman fight crime, but they sort of put it in like a goofy cartoony context where these guys are like hapless fucking nobodies that are like, yeah, we can help out Batman, because even in the intro video, you see in first person perspective, you see the real Batman like go swinging off to do something, and then your perspective turns to these two like guys with like cobbled up costumes, like, oh, now that Batman's off doing something, we could go over here and help him out with some crime or face off with these jokers. And I guess what it is you're either Team Batman or Team Joker, and Team Joker's obviously out to like cause trouble, and Team Batman's obviously out to stop them, but go back and forth. And it's a Team Fortress type where you have different classes and you work together to stop either deathmatch mode, or there's a mode where you, as the Jokers, you are trying to get to like a machine, or get to like capture points where you activate these laugh gas machines, and as Batman you stop them. But as these laugh gas machines get like captured, they'll start filling the air with like poisonous gas. That'll start to hinder the Batman.
The Batman.
But as the Batman, the more of these machines that you sort of like disable, will start filling the air with like bats, and that'll hinder the Joker men. It's interesting.
Wow, this game sounds terrible.
Can you be Bat Ladies?
I think so. But they all have like grappling hooks, and the Joker has like roller skates. You can go off jumps.
Standard.
I think Canadian I'm going to pass on this one.
I'm not really selling it well, and there's not much to sell it because this is exactly how this game goes.
You go off
you
jumps.
Lost me when you said roller skate.
You lost me when you said kind of like Team Fortress 2.
I don't know. It's interesting, but again, not a game I'm going to buy.
What do you keep looking out the window? What's going on behind me that you keep looking at?
There's a lady out there. Oh. And I totally thought that was your car, and she was getting right into it. And I'm not going to warn you.
Hey, Darkness 2 comes out as well this week. Coming out Tuesday.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Jackie Estacado.
Darkness.
Twin brothers.
Are you going to get this?
In some form or another. I don't know if I want to get it on console or PC yet. Maybe. Probably. I got to assess my financial situation.
Yeah.
After this weekend.
That's definitely going to be hard too.
We'll find out. That's all that's coming out this week. Shank 2 is coming up. You guys like Shank?
Forza Motorsports.
Forza!
There's no T!
Yeah,
Forza,
there's no T.
The February American Le Mans Series Pack.
Le Mans.
Whatever. Let's go for a break. Talk about some news when we get back. Talk about some questions. Is that okay with everyone?
Sure.
Fine.
Oliver?
I feel like I've done a lot of talking and nobody's really picking up on anything. I'm talking about gargoyles. I'm talking about fucking reboots.
Hey, I caught the gargoyles the reboot.
Hey, we had the Final Fantasy,
but nobody picked it up.
I just kind of glazed over for the Final Fantasy.
Gargoyles was one of the best cartoons of my childhood.
Glazed over for Gargoyles. Glazed over for Gotham City Impostors.
So you've been glazed over the whole time.
God, glazed over right now.
Glazing.
Nicely glazing.
Love glazing.
See you guys on the other side of this break.
Got no news. All right, let's move on.
Eric, tell us about some news of the week.
What do you want to know? Let's see.
Tell me about Skyrim.
Yes, Skyrim's got a creation kit coming out.
What's a Skyrim?
It's
how many Espers are in Skyrim?
It's for PC people only. So once again, if you are a Skyrim modder, it's going to be available through Steam. It makes it easier for all of you wannabe Skyrim mod people to upload, download, and share all of your creations. So your backwards flying dragons can now become sideways flying dragons.
Can I augment the boobs on the lady characters?
Do you want to like move the boobs and put them somewhere else, or just make them bigger?
Well, no, make them bigger.
I'm not sure. I'm not into the whole.
Make them more perfect.
Cleaner.
Clean the faces up of the white women.
Couldn't you just put boobs on everything?
What? That's not me being racist. That's a real thing.
So
clean the faces up on only the white characters.
So Bethesda can barely work their own tools. Obviously, now they're giving away tools to fucking kids.
That's a little presumptuous.
I don't know. One of the coolest things I've ever seen come out of the Elder Scrolls modding community was the Morrowind mod that turned all the Morrowind graphics to Oblivion graphics.
Well, there's somebody's supposed to be working on a mod where you can go explore Morrowind, isn't it?
Really?
I heard something about that. Because you can see Morrowind from Skyrim, right?
I don't know.
Something like that.
I haven't played that since my game started lagging irreparably.
Well, it should be Game of the Year, because it's the greatest game that works on every system. Game of the Year. Dude, you never had any problems. Fine.
Can we cancel that trophy that we sent over to Rocksteady and send it over to Bethesda? Because they deserve it more.
We didn't give a trophy to Rocksteady. What are you fucking talking
I went over your guys' heads.
Swag and I did.
Yeah. Fucking Skyrim. So anyways.
Fucking Rockstar.
Rocksteady.
Whatever.
Rockstar makes energy drinks.
And they make Grand Theft Auto.
Red Deads.
Quite an enterprise, that Rockstar.
Yes.
Game tools. I guess the Machinima fans are pretty happy about this.
Fuck Machinima.
I wonder what's going on in that creature house.
You know, I don't understand Machinima at all, man. You know what? People act in movies. Yeah. Video games do not act in movies.
I don't know.
Machinima's kind of interesting.
Machinima's so stupid.
The idea of Machinima. You know what? I don't want to say that not all user-made movies can be you wrapped in a blanket asking people if they want to buy some crack. Because that would be great.
Great performance, by the way.
Even though I didn't get to add anything to the performance.
And they couldn't add
the director.
All, huh?
We had a very strict director.
Took the direct take.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Machinima, especially when it's done properly. I remember the Machinima watching days, but when it's bad, it's fucking bad.
It's like stealth games.
99% of it is bad.
And there's a lot more bad than there is good.
I'd agree that 99% of it is terrible.
How
about that one?
Watching those old Matt's posts on his things for the Saturday night stream.
I like that.
Those were so terrible.
I like that one. That Call of Duty one where the guys are running. Voiced by yours truly.
Oh yeah, right.
I like Machinima. I was in the BlizzCon 2011 movie winner, whatever movie contest.
Congratulations,
boom!
You sir
Nailed
got the trophy at the Special Olympics.
How about that
BlizzCon.
Pathogen?
Way to be retarded.
When can I expect Pathogen episode 2?
You mean 3?
Episode 3.
It's in the works.
Yeah?
Yeah. Working on a script. Maori and I are putting heads together.
Maori.
Putting heads together. Little side project.
Maybe you guys can do one with the Skyrim tools.
He does kind of sound like those
spoilers.
Nords.
What else is news, Eric? Eric, what's your take on Machinima?
I don't know.
It should be copyright infringement. Because these people who make the Machinima are making money off of the game.
Sopa over here.
Yeah, but I think Machinima takes care of all that copyright issue. That's why.
Yeah, Machinima, the company, takes care of all that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think people that do that video game stuff creatively and actually come up with unique content and put time and effort into it, that stuff's funny as hell. But you can easily tell when somebody spent 3 minutes slapping something together and it's not funny. And I think there's too much of that compared to the other stuff. So, yeah, that's my uneducated information about it.
I don't know what Eads is trying to lip here, but I'm taking it back to the whole copyright infringement thing. I remember we had a conversation, Eads and I, about that, and you told me that in the end user agreement that it's allowed.
For a lot of games, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
A lot of Microsoft's games specifically actually have like Machinima clauses that you agree to when you accept their end user agreement.
That's
that
cool.
you can't use them?
No, that you can. You can.
Oh. I want to see one of these companies that doesn't have that in their game just start suing all these fucking Machinima.
Lots of companies, like when LA Noire was brand new, Rockstar wouldn't let any footage of LA Noire be posted up. And the extent of that is if you post any of that content to YouTube, you get a copyright strike and have to remove the content. It's not like they sue you.
But they could.
You cost us $20 million. You get all this money.
They could.
Give me my money.
Who the hell actually reads the end user license agreements?
There has been every single time that I buy a new game, I try so hard to make it through it.
It's so long, though.
I know. It's like I usually make it to about the 6th or 7th clause, and then I'm like, fuck it, I give up.
Some of them, if you actually read like the Steam one, when you agree to that, you authorize them to like scan your computer for any pirated software, and they can at any moment pull your Steam service if they detect any third-party content that they don't agree with, and you basically sign your rights away.
Wasn't there a story that we talked about a couple weeks ago where... Or no, I don't know if we talked about it, but I know there was a story on some other podcast where if you agree to the end user agreement, or what is it, EULA? End user... EULA. That you cannot sue Microsoft or Sony.
That was run a couple weeks ago, but that also has been debunked already.
Oh, really?
It doesn't... Like, precedent has been set that will not hold up in court.
I see.
In Canada, anyways. I don't know about the States. I know there's a like an opt-out thing where you basically you go to this website and fill out like name, address, and whatever, and they will send a letter on your behalf to Sony, because that's the only way to opt out of it, is to send a physical written letter to Sony and say, I don't agree to these terms.
The letter says, "Nuh-uh, bitch."
Yeah, no way. Swag a egg.
Nuh-uh.
But yeah, that well, it's kind of like that EA Origin stuff where their end user agreements are worded such that like the forums falls under the same one as Origin. So if you get banned on the forums, you lose access to all your Origin games, which has been a huge point of contempt for 10 months or whatever it's been. Well, there's been stuff where like one of the cases was some guy quoted another post, like some dude said something inappropriate in a post, and using the forum quote feature, he quoted him and said...
It mentioned, like, a bad word or something. Right?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't allowed to use?
Yeah, he quoted it and said, like, wow, like, this is fucked up or whatever. But not in a way that he should have gotten banned. And yeah, he got banned and lost access to all his games, and it still hasn't been resolved however many months down the road.
Yeah, I heard that story. That's...
So, great job, EA.
So
it's not just EA; it's legal. It's
well, no, that is
legal writing.
That is the thing that EA has come out and said, like, yeah, this shouldn't be like this. We're going to fix this, and that was last year.
I just don't like when you come down on EA like that.
That's so shitty, though.
They're
that
a small grassroots company. They're just vulnerable.
Just a couple guys sitting behind computers.
They're trying to make money off of all of these people who are copywriting.
We don't want the big ManaTank machine coming down on the little EA.
You're right. That would be
tragic.
I don't know. That's such a shitty situation, though.
What else is news? That's a shitty.
The Simpsons arcade game's coming out.
Okay, what else is news?
Like, are you talking about the old school Simpsons arcade game? Where
it's coming to the PSN and Xbox Live. That's news for me. That's big news.
That was kind of fun.
That's the one where you can play up to 4 people, right?
Yeah, the whole family.
And as you stand beside each other, if you stand beside each other for 5 seconds, you go into the team move. Yeah. The team move. Yeah.
Snake formation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a fun game.
I put a lot of money into that
game. If it's more than $5, I think that's going to be stupid.
Because we've already spent way too much money on that.
I kind of wish they would have done the Turtles instead of the Simpsons, but
the Turtles arcade game would be fun too.
Yeah, that one's a blast.
Hey, did you? You said you were.
The Turtles arcade game is a game.
Yeah, and did they have it on the PSN?
No, they have it on the regular Nintendo.
Well, I know, but I want them to do it on
current generation.
The PSN.
Oh,
bust out that NES.
Yeah, don't you have a working NES?
Those old Ninja Turtle games on Nintendo were fucking awesome too.
Super aside, but the N64 at our school broke, and I was sort of crushed.
Take it to Jason Minty.
Yeah, I think at this point it might be because one of the guys.
Repairs.ca.
Okay, one of the guys.
Ching, ching.
One of the guys works at a video game store, so he said he could get us another one for like $40. So I think at this point
you should get him to send us some shit.
Yeah, you think he could send us some shit?
We're not gonna mention who he is right now, but after he sends us some shit,
we'll mention who he is.
It's like Jason Minty, modernrepairs.ca.
Ching ching. Is that like his tagline? Ching ching.
Ching ching.
This is with Jason Minty, Mods Repairs. Ching ching. How can I help you?
I think that's just some racist that we say at the end of things.
I can see the dollar signs in his eyes, but not the top or bottom of them.
Woo! Simpsons. Simpsons arcade game. Is there any more to be said about that? That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I think Kev said if it's any more than $5, it's not going to be worth it. Because can't you beat that game in like 40 minutes?
Probably less.
Yeah, it was an arcade game. It's probably really short.
So,
who was your favorite character?
It's been so long since I've played it, I don't even remember.
Where did you play this?
I liked.
Where did you live that had?
I used to play it
machine.
Back in the day, Eads, before your time,
there were these things called arcades.
There were arcades aplenty.
Tell me about these.
And you could go to them, and you could put quarters into the machines. Sometimes dollars. Dollars were.
I think the root word of arcade is archaic. So, not surprised that those.
I don't think you understand how root words work.
If you ever go into a Red Robin's, just off the entrance lobby, there's always an arcade.
Right. Okay.
Really?
It's like a little
Southside one.
It's got like 4 cabinets or something.
And the Northside one will.
That's shitty.
But there are a few just pinball machines. Those are arcades.
But yeah, like
I know
movie theaters, you can see arcades. They still have them in movie
walk
theaters.
in.
Are there often fires in arcades?
You'll feel
fires.
You'll feel sort of weird because like they're video games, but they're in like these weird wooden cabinets.
Okay, right.
And for whatever reason, you'd have to put a quarter in.
Where do you sit when you hold the controller?
There is no sitting.
No, you have to stand. And there's no controller. It's a joystick.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Controller is built into the arcade machine.
You get clickety clack.
Oh my! Is that a disease?
Yes, you will get diseases off these machines.
You will get the clickety clack.
You never had arcade? You've had arcades.
Yeah. No, I obviously know what an arcade is, but I mean, the only arcade we had in my time was Palladium, and that closed down 5 years ago.
Way more than that.
However many
years
ago.
Like 10 years ago.
Whatever.
More.
I went to Palladium a few times, and that was before I was big into video games like I am now.
Oh, so you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. So you were
dark in
you were just big into Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Oh, there's great. I wish that Palladium was still around because I think I'd appreciate it way more now than I did then.
And yeah, back then, like Simpsons was like a hugely popular arcade game because it was a big 4-player cabinet. I think did it have 2 screens?
Yeah, 2 screens.
Yeah, so it had the 2 screens where you could like travel across them. And you get 3 other buddies, and fucking boom, you're playing co-op video games. This was unheard of.
But you would never show up. Like, I can't make it. You'd be at the arcade and be like, no, I'm going to go.
Yeah, this game way. Over here is a 1-player, so I'm going to play that one.
I'm a single-player guy.
I'm going to go play fucking...
I'm going to go play Jurassic Park. No, that was a multiplayer one, too. I'm going to go... I can't even think of any single-player ones.
I'm going to go play...
I want to go play the Pac-Man machine where someone broke the
Dragon's Lair.
Skee Ball.
Yeah,
Skee Ball.
God, that game was terrible.
I'm going to go eat a pizza. What else happening in the news this week? Let's talk about Resident Evil
6 is getting a
demo.
demo.
Talk about ladies blowing giraffes.
Yes, it's going to get a demo. Capcom's making another game that you may not know of called Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's coming out in May. But it's gonna, if you buy it on the Xbox, you can get a Resident Evil 6 demo that starts on July 3rd, but PlayStation owners have to wait till September 4th to play the demo.
PlayStation.
Wow, that's a huge gap.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Why? First of all, why isn't like the whole point of a demo is to like turn people onto your game who may be like, oh, Resident Evil, what's that? Okay, I'll try the demo. Well, this is really fun.
People have asked Capcom about it, and the only thing that they've said is that it's a strategic business decision.
Well, it's timed exclusive.
And make people sell, but the only way you can get this demo, as it stands right now, is to buy Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah. It's kind of a stupid timed exclusive because it's only a demo. But I mean, if you're on PlayStation and you only play on PlayStation, a couple months isn't going to be like, oh my god, I'm fiending to try this Resident Evil 6 demo. Oh, I can't stand it anymore. I need to go buy an Xbox to play this.
And Dragon's
Dogma.
Isn't that kind of like Capcom's way of saying that this game probably is going to suck, so here's an incentive to buy it?
Dragon's Dogma?
Yeah.
I guess.
They've done that, like, that's not a new thing. I remember What was it? Xenogears that came out with the Final Fantasy VII demo?
Final Fantasy VIII demo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know one of Konami's games released with the Metal Gear demo. Metal Gear 3 demo back in the day. And I totally bought it.
Obviously.
Is Resident Evil 6 a draw? Resident Evil,
really.
Is everyone like, oh, Resident Evil, my favorite series in the whole world. I'm going to buy Dragon's Dogma.
Maybe to some people.
Hey, what is this Dragon's Dogma?
Dragon, you can teach about its dogma.
Okay, we can do the ignorant response, or we can actually tell me what the game
No, that's what the game's about. That's what the game's about. You team up with a dragon, and he teaches you about his dogma.
It's just a fantasy game in the vein of in the vein of the way Capcom does its games.
Can't reload and move at the same time.
Whereas, you sort of have, unlike Skyrim, where every character is just like some nameless or just some bland plain character.
Talking about Dovahkiin that way.
In Capcom's game, like each character has its own like sort of like stylistic. Like you know who this character is. That's the king, and that's the king's heir. It's the jester.
And that's the dragon.
And these are all the other bland characters in these types of games. That's the princess.
All the dragons.
There's the headsman.
Their dogmas.
But I don't really know the story too much, but
it's third person.
It doesn't
the look of it reminds me of that Hunted Demon's Forge game that we did a press start on way back when.
Is that what it reminds
you
of?
That game was bad.
Yeah. It didn't work great, so kind of bad. It wasn't terrible.
I don't know what the way it looked sort of reminded me of how they took like the Resident Evil 5 and 6 engine. No, sorry, 4 and 5 engine and put it into a fantasy setting. That's how it looked to me.
Resident Evil 4 and 5 were not the same engine.
Sure they were.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
They were generations apart. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I think it was 5 was an iteration of 4.
Think so?
I'm not sure. Dragon's Dogma used to interest me. After seeing a few things, it's not that interesting to me anymore.
What about this? It's got the Resident Evil 6 demo. Does that interest you?
Not really.
Too bad.
Plus, I have to wait a couple months before it comes onto my system of choice. I can't wait that long.
No,
so you need Resident Evil now.
I'm gonna go buy an Xbox, Dragon's Dogma, to play Resident Evil 6.
You buy the Dragon's Dogma Special Edition Xbox.
Yeah.
Comes with the dogma written right on the side.
Oh yeah, so
is that what you do with a dogma? Can you write down a dogma?
Yeah.
What is a dogma?
10 Commandments.
Like a code of ethics?
Comes after hammer time.
Like an EULA? Eric, what happens if I accept the end user agreement on this Dragon's Dogma? Do I waive the right to sue the dragon?
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure you give the dragon permission to come and get all your loot out of your house and add it to its hoard.
I'm pretty sure you can make machinima out of it after you sign the end user
don't
agreement.
Do that. Don't sign.
Kill the dragon and grind it up into machinimas. What else is happening this week?
Well, I'm going to bring the conversation back around to Final Fantasy because it hasn't even been out for a week and it's already getting DLC.
To be fair, it has been out for, a month? Almost 2 months in Japan?
True. But the DLC actually sounds really cool.
Tell me about the DLC. What's happening?
It's I gotta find the actual name of it again because it's not something that's easy to remember.
Now, is it
called Lightning and Master Sergeant Armador, and yeah, I think it's kind of a series of Coliseum battles where you can face off from foes from previous Final Fantasy games, and once you defeat them, they're gonna join your party as a player.
Oh, so as like a monster crystal type of thing?
I think so. I'm not sure if it's talking like I'm not sure if it's talking like Sephiroth and like Ruby weapon and Emerald weapon and stuff like that, but maybe it could just be like generic enemies from old games. It doesn't really say anything beyond this is what it is, and that's
Green
it.
Slime 1.
Yeah, I heard
Blue
rumors
Slime 2.
that Lightning was going to be the final boss battle in the downloadable content. And that if you beat her, then she'll join your party.
But then there would be a paradox.
Yeah, because games about time travel don't have paradoxes in them to begin with.
Lightning trying to find lightning. Doesn't work.
Whoa.
Well, maybe.
No, Sarah trying to find lightning, who's already found lightning, who is also trying to find lightning.
But then
My brain just
you
exploded.
got to crawl through the factory and get her caught in that pressing machine, and then it breaks her arm off, and that's what they make Skynet out of.
Also, if you kill Ocelot,
that works.
it causes time paradox.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a free download, or is it going to be you have to pay for it?
It doesn't say.
No,
You're gonna have to pay.
It's probably I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably gonna be a $15 download.
do you think it's even going to be worth it?
I'm gonna get it.
Well, are you going to get it, and are you going to beat it before you beat the main game, is what I'm asking.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you think you're just going to ruin the entire story?
Yep.
Fine.
Maybe the story doesn't make sense without it.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they're releasing. They're saying, "Oh shit, we forgot to put the second lightning in there."
Oh crap! Is there lightning? Is there like lightning never strikes twice?
No, there's not a lot of cliches.
No.
Is it that? Too bad.
It's her name.
What's the line from X-Men that Storm says to Toad when... do you know what happens when lightning strikes?
No, you know what happens when a toad gets hit by lightning or something?
Same as everyone else. Something like that.
That was so dumb.
I stood up
So
and cheered.
amazingly corny.
Woo! Halle Berry!
You're so smart.
I loved you in other movies.
I loved you in Swordfish.
Yes. It's the only reason to watch that movie.
I never saw Swordfish.
You get to see her boobs.
Oh. Okay.
I'll send you a picture.
They're
Great.
not even that nice.
No. Too bad.
She's a good-looking lady.
How do you spell her last name? Like Berr?
I think it's Barry.
Yeah.
B-E-R.
Berry.
No,
It's like a berry.
Like
B-A-R-E-Y.
blueberry?
Yeah, like blueberry.
No, B-A-R-E-Y.
I think it's Barry, like the
No, it's
blueberry.
not B-A-R-E-Y.
It's
It's Berry.
Yeah.
Like
B-A-R-E-Y.
You guys are so
All right.
dumb.
Berries.
I'm going to try very hard to not get a... never mind.
You're going to try very hard to not get a virus while looking for this gratuitous picture of Halle Berry's breasts.
Matt's got to see it.
As cold as ice. Oh, sorry.
Here you go. Found it.
This is lewd.
It's very lewd.
Do we got more news stories, or are we going to move on?
That's pretty much it.
It's about time to move on.
So,
No, there they are.
let's see.
It's not a very flattering picture at all.
No, not really.
That's a terrible picture.
Yeah, that is an awful picture. Put some clothes on, Miss Berry.
Cover yourself up, Hallie.
Cover your shame.
And then for the TV version of the movie, she just didn't pull the book down.
Really?
So it was, yeah. A little
John
lackluster
Travolta
there.
was in that movie, so was Wolverine.
I can't think of his name.
Hugh Jackman?
Grant.
Hugo Weaving?
Hugh Grant?
No. Jackman.
Let's do some emails.
I want to see Real Steel.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that there was an ad for the Xbox 720 in the Real Steel?
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder.
Is it
how
actually
legit
called
that is.
720?
I think that was
Yeah,
just
it
sort of
said-
like an Easter egg, wasn't it? Or do you think that really had some meaning?
I don't know. I think that has some meaning too, because it was in one of the, like in the stadium, it was in the wraparound LED banner in the background.
I think.
Oh, really? And it just said Xbox 720?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Here, I'll send you a picture of that too.
Shoot myself if they call it 720.
What are they going to call it?
Oh,
They're
man,
not gonna-
I hope they call it the 720.
That's so dumb.
so awesome.
What was your idea of
We
them
came
calling
full circle.
Fun Station
Twice.
1.
No, about like the 4. They were going to integrate the 4 into it so that they sort of take the shine off the PlayStation 4. You had some huge fucking... You logic the shit
Xbox
out of it.
420?
The Xbox 420.
Yeah. That's right. Xbox 420.
1 1/4 circle.
360, what is that, like a turn and a half?
What is that? Turn on.
Account Station email. Jeff writes in.
I think you just wrecked your email queue with that.
Jeff writes in.
Good. That's
I'm
what I do.
trying to. I had a good email in here somewhere that I'm frantically searching for. So as we read these, I'm gonna keep looking.
What does Jeff write in?
It says, "Hey, what is up, ManaTank gang? First, I have to say I thoroughly enjoy the podcast, and I have a couple questions. Question number 1: Why is Dinner Dangles a Sharks fan?
Are we gonna we're gonna answer these questions as they come?
And to be clear, he's not hating But he's not Haitian on the Sharks.
Okay. As long as you're not Haitian.
On the Sharks.
I am a Sharks fan because when I started to pay attention to hockey, I was like 9 years old, and the Sharks had the greatest logo.
Was it a shark?
It was a shark?
Yeah. And end of story. That's why I'm a Sharks fan.
Oh. What about the Mighty Ducks?
The Ducks weren't in the league at the time.
Yeah, but then they came out with the movie.
Yeah, I did enjoy the movie. It was all about
Adam
Emilio!
Emilio!
And they actually came out with a team. That sort of blew my mind. Like, I sort of like the Anaheim Mighty Ducks for
Disney
a
has
bit.
a lot of money, and they thought, what better way to market their movie than to get an NHL hockey team? So they said, here, have $400 million. We have a team now.
And the logo is fucking cool too. It's like a goalie mouse with a beak. And they came out with that cartoon also?
That's clever.
Holy, I am just pulling these out. My Ducks cartoon, anybody?
Yeah. Oh, there's the Xbox 720, yeah. Huh. The logo hasn't changed much.
Really put the think tank together on that one.
The Mana think tank. So we should have called this
Okay,
show.
let's finish off these. Fuck, you just get distracted.
Forgot.
Question 2.
He's heading down to Las Vegas. This is kind of funny. I am heading down to Las Vegas over March break to watch a NASCAR race. Bet you didn't think one of your listeners was a NASCAR fan.
We don't want you to listen to the show anymore.
That's kind of cool.
I totally thought all our listeners were NASCAR fans.
Don't fucking need you here.
And then down to Arizona to watch the Coyotes. I was wondering, Eric, are there any places I must visit to eat? It sounds like he wants to eat the places. Are there any places to visit or any other awesome things he should go see?
To eat, unless he's like
in Las Vegas?
Well, he is down in Arizona.
Oh, God. It depends on what part of Arizona you're going to be in. I'm just going to throw some blanket statements out here. Definitely go to Sedona, the Painted Desert. Maybe hop a hot air balloon ride at sunrise. It's pretty fun. Last time I did it, I had a pocket full of nickels. And,
you're a terrible person.
Did you hit any car windshields?
I was flicking nickels over the interstate as we were flying.
That's so bad. That's terrible. You are an asshole.
That's so funny, but oh man.
So if you do a hot air balloon ride, bring a bag of change. There is...
Hold on, the guy who was giving you this hot air balloon ride, he was totally cool with this?
He didn't see.
You're like, wow, look at those clouds. And then just like pulls out a whole bag of nickels.
What's this kid's name?
Jeff.
Jeff, do everybody a favor at this NASCAR event and be the first one to take off your shirt.
Yeah. Because you got to break that awkward, no one wants to be the only guy with their shirt off.
Exactly.
So if you just go ahead and take your shirt off, then everyone else can feel comfortable taking their shirts off.
Exactly.
I feel like his question's it's a gigantic question. It's like, I'm going to go to this gigantic state. What should I do when I'm there?
Isn't Arizona like totally boring? Isn't it just like all desert?
And old people?
Arizona's awesome.
Don't all the old people go to Arizona?
I mean,
snowbirds, but they all go to Tucson. We just get the illegals here in Phoenix.
It's no Vermont, I'm telling you.
West Haverbrook.
I don't even know. Like I'm just on.
How about the Grand Canyon? Is that in Arizona?
Yeah. You could do the Grand Canyon. You could do Flagstaff.
What's Flagstaff?
Flagstaff is just kind of this little mountain city.
Got a bunch of flags on some
We can just give the ignorant answer, or we could actually answer the question.
You could go to... There's a little city on the border called Nogales. You could go down there and get stabbed.
Go down there and get murdered.
Yep. That's definitely an option. You could do the Hoover Dam and throw nickels off the Hoover Dam bridge.
What is with you and throwing nickels?
Wouldn't that gum up the whole process?
Yeah.
No, because it's on the bottom side.
Break the levee?
It's on the bottom side of the dam, so that's cool. But
if you throw things on the top side of the dam,
it could gum up the whole works, and Arizona would be without water.
Wicked.
Like fish and stuff get sucked into the dam.
Wait a minute. Doesn't that dam provide power?
Yep. So
How
maybe
would you
put a
without
nix on
water?
the nickels. Might not want to throw the nickels into the dam.
Confused.
Because then the water pumps wouldn't have any power.
Does the Kaiser's Legion still have control of the Hoover Dam?
It does,
Ooh.
unfortunately.
What is the Kaiser's Legion?
Nothing.
Fallout.
Okay. Good one.
Hey, next question.
Hey guys, Rudy writes in.
Hey, Rudy.
Says, oh no, sorry. Evan writes in. Evan, listens to the ManaTank podcast on the way to school in his car with his friend Rudy. Similar to a Swaganeeds listening to our own podcast in the car.
That's good.
With
providing
my
commentary.
Friend Rudy. He says, he wrote me a novel.
Oh boy, can you paraphrase?
He says, I know this is a video game podcast, but I thought we could branch off of that for just a little while.
We have never done that before.
This guy
first time, guys. We're going to get off topic. If you guys are willing to get a little spicy in red highlight here.
Capitals as well.
Could you talk about your previous or current love lives? Like, first date's gone wrong, etc., etc. Thanks for taking the time to read and possibly answer these questions. Keep my favorite podcast coming. You guys have much more prowa than you know.
My love life's just all over the internet. Like, I hit my girlfriend with a bottle on the show once. It's out there.
That was really funny.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, I record all those videos of you guys like sleeping.
Yeah,
post them up on the ManaTank website. Yeah, my channel.
The Matt Eads,
YouTube.com/thematteeds/swagger in the evenings.
Swagger in the evenings. Yeah, so check those out. Like our content. Help us out there. Rate and review.
Rate and review. Give Swagger some pointers on his technique.
Yeah.
So love lives.
It for me. Mine.
No tragic stories? No. Other than the time you hit her in the face with the bottle?
It's a highlight, actually. It's a highlight for me.
Brought you closer together.
I was getting a lot of anger out with that one bottle hit.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I know. That's bad. There's nothing.
Like, no really bad breakups or anything?
I don't know if you want to talk about that one time where you two were sort of broken up.
Well, we've been broken up a couple times.
And you were just moody and
really
cried on my shoulder. You want to talk about that?
Is this the only person you've ever dated?
For a long time. We've been together for a long, long time. But yeah, you could probably just catch up on my whole love life on the
YouTube channel.
Channel. So go right ahead.
Well, certainly on Sex Life, at least.
Kev, what about you? I want to hear about your spicy love life.
You're going to go to megaporn.com/thematteeds.
Wow. Oh, shit. I dated these conjoined twins one time. Let me tell you, it was a little weird at first because, I mean, they were conjoined.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
But then they got the operation, so, I mean, post-op, it was a whole lot less fun.
I thought you said...
It's like a threesome every night.
Well, I thought you were just going to say, like, anytime we really wanted just privacy, you just throw a cardboard box over the other one's head.
Paper bag.
Well, no, I mean, you don't want privacy. You got two of them.
Maybe sometimes.
Where were they conjoined?
It was just the standard, like, they had...
Down the side?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, two arms between them?
Yeah, two arms between them.
Just two heads.
Two heads.
And okay.
4 boobs, incidentally.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty sweet.
Okay.
One vagina?
No, 2.
Oh
yeah.
Great.
So you had...
This is terrible.
You had double, like, the...
Yeah,
you had to put in double the effort.
I'm up for it, though.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, it was a whole lot better before they got separated.
See more at Dinner Dangle's YouTube channel.
The one girl was all like
into
it, and then her sister was like just kind of lying beside us the whole time. And then after
narrating,
I mean, it was good for me when they were both there, but then after the operation, it was only one of them, so I just had to move on. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I was only with you because you had a conjoined twin.
And since then, you've always been addicted to threesomes.
Obviously,
it's the only way you can live your life.
Conjoined twins.
Where does that even come from?
That was good.
Wow.
The one that got away?
Shit.
The
2 that got away. Or maybe I guess 1.7 that got away. Anyway.
Stunning.
That's
Chris
writes the
in,
story.
Says, great podcast.
Thanks, Chris.
Why was I the only one that shared like real shit? Semi-real shit.
We don't have any real shit to share.
He goes on with something.
I'll tell you.
Eric has a wife.
Tell us about your wife.
Oh, do you want to know the wife or about the girl that I broke up with in college because she made fun of me?
What? Yes,
that one.
Okay, so did I tell you guys a story about when I first went to college in Milwaukee? I got placed in the wrong math class.
No.
Okay, I took a math placement test and they put me in like the super remedial first grade math class on accident. So the first day I walk into class and the teacher hands out the sheet, and it's like 50 kids in this class, all college students, and he hands out a sheet and it's nothing but single digit addition and subtraction. So
okay.
I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is just a preface, so I do it, and that was the entire class for the day. Some of these kids took all day to do it. I don't know how they got into college, but it was just the single digit adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. That was it.
Let me ask you a question quick.
Yeah.
Did you get 100%?
I did.
Oh.
So I went to make a long story short, I went and I checked it out, and sure enough, I needed to take the test all over again. But in that time, I'd kind of hooked up with this girl that lived on the floor below me, and she was like super smart architecture student, and here I am going for a degree in creative writing, so obviously I'm retarded in math. And one day we were sitting in the lobby, and she decides to ask me about my math class, not knowing that I was in basic first grade math. And because I hadn't been able to switch out yet. So she goes on this spree of like giving me just this stink eye stare and belittling me because I'm in stupid math class and she's in like these Calc 5, 6, 7 level classes. And I, instead of telling her, you know what, we should break up, I just kind of stopped talking to her altogether. And she was like in our group of friends, and I just never talked to her after that.
Did you at any point pull your skateboard out and call her a little bitch?
Well, if we've learned anything from this show about how to deal with our problems, it's to just ignore them. So I think that you have done extremely well in your breakup with this girl.
Well, then there was another time in high school where this girl was like super into me, and I had no reason to break up with her, but I just waited for her after school one day outside the art room, and she walked up to me and she's like, hey, like, I don't want to be with you anymore, and walked away. So like I looked back at that was my senior year. I'm like, that was kind of a dick move to do. So I kind of prefer to just ignore them altogether and hope they get over it on their own.
Spares everybody's feelings.
Slow walk down the hallway with sad,
like it especially spares her feelings. Not knowing what's happening.
Yeah,
it's an easy way to spare feelings.
But I don't know if I want to share the other spicy stories. That's a little too in depth
and spicy.
Yeah,
just find it all at Megaporn or what?
Megaporn.com/honest_pizza. Honest pizza. No underscore.
Yeah.
Next one. Just a warning, guys. Megaporn.com is a real porn site, so if you check out megaporn.com, there's going to be some lewd shit on there. All right. Side note done.
Only one video with conjoined twins, though.
We didn't say the email address again. We're bad.
Fuck.
Chris writes in. Says, great podcast, guys. I listen to it every chance I get. My question is, what is your guys' most enthralling / spine-tingling segment in a video game? For me, it was in Red Dead Redemption, transitioning from the Wild West to Mexico. Would love to hear it.
So, like, playing a game and, like, just getting a chill?
Yeah, or like a moment where you're just like, oh, just
anytime there's an accidental upskirt.
Spine chilling?
Yes.
Oh,
depends on who the upskirts
are. Sweaty palm. How about like the ending of BioShock? That was pretty crazy for me.
Like the reveal?
Yeah. That was pretty crazy.
It got spoiled for me, so it didn't have that same effect. But it was still pretty cool.
What do you get? I'm not going to play it, so just...
Okay, spoiler warning here. If you're going to ever play BioShock...
Which you should.
The first one, right?
Yeah, it's super good, and like this, I'm gonna lay it down for anyone who's not. But
so skip forward, like
skip forward. I'll keep it brief.
5 minutes,
but
2 or 3
basically
minutes.
throughout the game, there's cutscenes where
not cutscenes.
Well, they're kind of they take control away from the character, and it'll be something like it'll sort of do like a little cutscene where it'll like the dude that you're on radio with will be like, well, put down your gun for a sec here. We gotta check out. I want to show you this Big Daddy or whatever and explain to it what it is. And to you, they're just cutscenes. But in every one, he uses the phrase, would you kindly? And at the end, you sort of find out that you are this clone grown in Rapture, and then would you kindly is kind of like a code phrase that makes you have to obey. And so all these cutscenes where he says, would you kindly put that weapon down for a second, and then you put your gun down and it does a cutscene. That's supposed to be you being like mind controlled.
But in like as you're playing it, you just sort of think it's going into some sort of like scripted cutscene.
Yeah, super good reveal.
Really cool, yeah.
Super good reveal at the end, and then the second half of the game. Well, last like 25% is you trying to break this mind control.
Yeah.
It's super
Nothing?
good.
Chills?
No.
Any chills?
It doesn't explain. It doesn't explain as well, but I mean, you've gone through like you've seen probably like 10 or 12 of these cutscenes, and then it just drops it on you, and you're like, oh fuck.
I don't know. I don't really like games where you're playing the game and then all of a sudden halfway through the game you're just like, oh, by the way, you're a robot.
Well, it's sort of
what it is.
It's sort of hinted at though throughout the whole thing. It's not like it's just dropped on you. It's sort of like
ties it all together. Hinted at in that, would you kindly realize that you're a robot?
No, but the thing is, he talks in some sort of like Irish or Scottish accent, and would you kindly is like kind of it seemed like his sort of thing.
Yeah.
But when he sort of reveals that's that catchphrase that makes you do shit, you're like, holy shit, that's fucking clever.
I thought that was super good.
Clever limey bastard, even though Scottish and Irish people aren't limey.
Yeah, good. And there's actually in the beginning, you're on a plane, and it shows you looking down at this present, and on the present there's actually a note that says, would you kindly, and then presumably below it says, like, would take down the plane or whatever. Because there's a gun in the present. You pull the gun out and take the plane down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It flashes back to it.
Okay.
Towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I only made it about maybe halfway, 3/4 of the way through that game.
You're getting chills just talking about it.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite moments. And for me, spoilers done. The ending of Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was very moving. It was a tearjerker. I think a tear might have rolled down my face. A single tear.
I don't ever plan on playing that. So would you want to?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't carry well. Okay. Spoiling it. You sort of get attached to these characters, and then some shit happens to these characters that is extremely moving.
I would say that every game I play has a spine-chilling moment in it.
Even Dragon Age.
Tell
me about the spine-tingling moment in Dragon Age.
I don't fucking remember. It happens in every single goddamn game. Otherwise, it's a bad game. If it's such a terrible story that you don't feel something for the characters or for the story that it provokes that response
levels
in you.
There are levels. Like, yeah, sure, you feel some emotion, but there are other games that that force that out of you, that you actually get that strong emotional reaction from.
Response.
Like him with BioShock. Me, I'm going to launch into a couple Metal Gear situations. But for you, what was it? Like, what was that one? You say you really like... What the fuck game does he really like? Any Final Fantasy? None of them.
I've already had spine-chilling moments in Final Fantasy XIII, too.
I'd say for Final Fantasy, what about Final Fantasy VIII with Squall and Rinoa up in the Ragnarok?
Oh, shit, man. I fucking... Yes. I cried during that part.
I still like the dance scene at the beginning, too. You remember that one? When they're dancing at the seed party and Rinoa shows up and...
What is it? Is a seed party like a sex orgy?
Yes.
What is a seed party?
They just spill their seed all over the dance floor, and then everybody just rolls around in it.
Oh, gross.
Impregnated in themselves.
No, Final Fantasy games are really good at that.
The ending of Final Fantasy VIII. Like, just like I would just say the whole experience of Final Fantasy VIII. Like, my spine was just shivering the entire time.
What about like games that make you cry? You ever cried during games?
I've gotten that sort of misty eye.
Yeah,
and again, I'm going to launch into some Metal Gear.
You kind of got to sniff it back.
When Snake had the gun to his head.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. But who was it? You or Dan that wrote that article on the site about
music?
No, that wasn't you.
That was me.
No, about I think it was bosses. Video game bosses.
I don't remember. We write a lot of stuff.
He mentioned Final Fantasy moments. That's what he did.
Oh yeah, that's him.
But he mentioned a couple things with Final Fantasy VI, and it had like Ultros. He mentioned Ultros, that fucking bothersome octopus, and Kefka.
Yep.
And even back in that game, I remember a situation with Ultros where it was in the Opera House. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was an awesome moment in that game. And that was one of my earliest ones that I remember.
The actual opera part?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good part.
Cool. I don't really remember why they were in the opera house or what really happened, but that stands out in my head.
It's because Celis looked like the chick that Ultros kidnapped.
Yeah. And were they trying to trap Ultros or?
Yeah.
Okay. Mass Effect 2, the very beginning. Fucking Normandy.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was awesome.
That was spoiled for me ahead of time, though.
Yeah, well, it was. I think they released video of it for whatever reason. But Normandy gets destroyed, and he's Shepard's floating.
Spoilers.
Floating in space. That part was fucking.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I'm gonna play them.
It's in the first 5 minutes,
and it was part of the promotional package for everything too.
Yeah,
they showed that off.
What about the ending of Modern Warfare 2? It sounds goofy. But you played Modern Warfare 2, right?
Yeah, that
part was possibly the only time in Modern Warfare where I was like, wow.
It was exciting, that very end part.
Wow.
Fucking Shepard. And even when Shepard betrays you when you're playing that level, when you're rolling around in that acreage with Ghost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that part
and he
cool.
lights you on fire or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like you should have been more attached when Soap died?
Spoilers.
Whatever.
Soap dies?
Yeah, in 3.
Huh.
He not right away. They kind of resuscitate him a bit, and then he dies halfway through the game.
I'm not really playing that game ever. So whatever.
I don't know.
They just glazed over. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, Soap's dead. Here you go. Let's continue. For a character that the whole series is really kind of built around, they just kill him off and don't really bat an eye at it.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the army, man. You're taught.
No, you get attached to these guys over.
I really like
the first couple games. In the second game, I'm gonna spoil the end of Modern Warfare 2, but whatever.
I just did by saying Shepard betrayed you.
Yeah, you get betrayed by Shepard, and then he stabs Soap in the chest with a throwing knife, and he's walking over to shoot Price, and Soap pulls the knife out of him and throws it into Shepard's eye before he shoots Price. And then the game ends, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it is really cool.
So I'm gonna start with my Metal Gear memories.
Oh God!
I'm gonna have a sleep while you guys do this.
Okay, the top two. In Metal Gear 3, they establish Naked Snake and the boss having this really close relationship. It's not even a sexual relationship or a love relationship. It's like a mentor-apprentice relationship. And it reveals at the end of the game where the boss, for whatever reason, or for her own reasons, for loyalty to the mission, I guess, betrays America and defects over to the Soviet Union.
Well, that was the mission.
Yeah, that was her mission. And Naked Snake's mission is to kill the boss. But he has this relationship with her that he doesn't want to. He's... all through the game, he's wondering why is the boss doing this? Has she really defected? Blah blah blah. And he doesn't find out till the very end, until after he kills her, what her reasons were. But there's a point where you literally Snake's standing over her, she wants him to kill her, but Snake's standing over the body in that field of flowers. And if you don't do anything, he'll stand there indefinitely. But you were the one that
don't the MiGs come and bomb you if you take too long?
No, I think it stops.
Oh, really?
Because you have to press the trigger, and that was so impactful because
you just didn't do it. You just left the game on and sat the controller. I can't do this.
At first, I'm like, okay, well, what's he waiting for? And then it occurred to me holy shit, I have to press that trigger. And fuck, I don't Big Boss as an extension, Naked Snake as an extension of my myself. I don't want to kill the boss because this is the character that he loved in a way that sort of transcended male-female relations, and I thought that was fucking awesome. So when you pull the trigger, that was just that was huge.
Yeah.
Anything?
That's one Metal Gear moment.
And the second one, which in 4, when he's fucking crawling through that fucking microwave.
Oh yeah,
hallway.
That's terrible.
That was fucking awesome.
I broke the triangle button on my controller from mashing the triangle button so hard.
Because you literally felt his pain as he's crawling through that microwave hallway.
which is a dumb idea. The whole microwave hallway still doesn't make any sense.
Sure, but when you're in the thick of it...
What about when they're on top of the ship and, like old skulls are cracking off that hull, and then they needle each other. They
that was good
revive
too.
Each other.
That was good too. I recall that because of that music article you wrote, and I watched the Metal Gear one. Yeah. Like, fuck, that is awesome. And they're just fighting their old hearts out.
It's like two 60-year-old guys just beating the shit out of each other.
That whole series is full of them. Like, I could go on, and you guys know that, but don't. No. But those are my top ones.
Is that it for everyone? Did we go through everybody?
I don't think Eric went.
Eric?
I said the Final Fantasy stuff with Squall and Rhinoa.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Podcast, ManaTank.com. That's the email
very
address.
end. Because when people tune out, it's, great, Swag's talking about Metal Gear. I'm done.
Whoop, over. Yeah, we always forget. Yeah. Anyways, write us some questions. Podcast, ManaTank.com. We got a bunch of Starhawk keys to give away.
We're actually doing a Facebook thing with the Starhawk keys.
Yeah, so. And people, if you got extra keys that you want to, give to us to give away, that's cool too. You can also email those to me at the podcast email or at Eric or at anyone. We'll get them out.
Just put ManaTank at ManaTank.com after something, and we'll eventually get it.
It's not how that works.
Megaporn
Thug life at ManaTank.com.
Megaporn at ManaTank.com is where you can send all your videos of swagger. Get those up on
your
our
swag machinima porn.
Swag machinima.
Just getting back into hentai. It's gonna do it for this week. Follow me on the Twitters. The Matt Eads, EADES.
Follow me at Swagger Aguilar. DM me a Starhawk beta key. Somebody, thank you, please and thank you.
And you can follow me at Honest Pizza. No underscore.
So Honest Pizza, NOUNDERSCORE.
No
underscore.
No
underscore.
I still feel bad for that other guy on PSN who has regular Honest Pizza. He's got to be getting a shitload of crap.
I cleared up my Steam friends list this week. Just put people I actually know on there. Took a long time. I had to clear like 400 friends off. One by one.
Ouch.
That was my penance.
So now you're down to what? 3 people?
Like 11. Just people I actually know and would want to play games with instead of everyone and their brother. No offense, guys, but it was just too hard to find people to play with.
Yeah, you can follow me at Dinner Dangles.
Did you break 1,000? Did either of you break 1,000 yet?
Not yet.
Still on the cusp?
Yeah, I'm not.
Huh. Pay attention to shit like that.
Huh.
Follow us. Everybody who follows Eads and Honest Pizza, follow us as well.
I've only got 344.
Only follow
everybody
Eads.
that follows Eads, follow all the 3 of us.
Only follow Eads.
Yeah.
I'm the best. I'm
the
man. I'm the man's man.
We're going to start sending dirty magazines to your house.
Good. DM. Dirty Magazine. DM me some DMs. Let's wrap this up. We'll see all you guys next week. We're going to go watch the Super Bowl.
Go Giants!
Patriots!
For the win.
Cheer for the Patriots.
Just because you're cheering for the Giants. This will go up after the Super Bowl.
You are listening to the ManaTank Podcast.